when we started this thing, we each decided that it would be up to us what we considered the right amount for the experience. And
yeah,
now
but the right experience is not zero experience, Woolie!
Suddenly we get into a point where that changes, and the terms that we agreed to in advance are
the terms we agreed is that you had to have watched it. You have to have watched it, Woolie. Otherwise, nothing means anything. And why are we doing this podcast? Why are we doing it if it doesn't work? You had Woolie, when you recommended Galactic Battlers, I had already watched 2 episodes.
I recommended Inception, and then we didn't get to do Inscription, and we didn't get to do that.
I apologize for that. I apologized.
So what the fuck? We all have our own places, and now it's just a goal.
You didn't even know where to see it.
Around. Yes, the spirit of the recommendation, but we agreed it was up to us.
How come I am the only one who has respect for the sanctity of this podcast? Okay? This podcast to me is sacred, Woolie. It's important that it have integrity. It's important that we both respect that. And I just, you're... I'm Eyepatch Wolf.
I'm Woolie Versus.
And we
are...
Versus Wolves!
Hello, Woolie.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy? You doing okay? Everything okay?
You know, I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah, I'm here. What have we become?
I'm fulfilling my obligations, aren't I? Yeah.
Remember 6 months ago when we were like, oh boy, a new podcast?
Now, it shouldn't be too much work. It'll just be a little, we'll just sprinkle it on on whatever we do.
There was a heavy emphasis on the sprinkling, all right?
What do we got? What do we got?
Okay, well, look, I'm delighted to be here. And my friends, I have been to an establishment.
Another one? I thought we took you to your first.
Okay, you did, but those 2 incidents are not entirely unrelated.
Oh.
Which will make more sense in a moment. Woolie, tell me if you've ever heard of the fine eatery that is Karen's Diner.
Karen's Diner? No. Is this should I have? Does this exist in North America?
I believe so. It originated in Australia. And this is a diner that you go into, and the entire theme of the diner is they treat you like absolute shit.
Oh, yes. Okay. So this started, I believe, as Dick's Last Resort, which is a restaurant chain in Vegas.
What a fucking name.
Yes. That that's the name of it. And then there were a couple of them that I think made their own version of it afterwards when it was not a part of that chain. But essentially, Dick's Last Resort style restaurants where you walk in and the whole style is just, what the fuck do you want, customer?
Yeah, so one of these recently opened up in Dublin. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious. I like experiential dining. And so I decided to go. And I was kind of like, okay, look. After the stat grind that was the strip club, how bad can this be? I'm not going to get too shooketh with, someone being rude, considering I've had naked people flopping about in my face. Okay,
Sure.
that
But
was
like
that.
the Irish flavored burn though of like a lass or a lad just absolutely letting you have it feels like it can get pretty rough and personal.
Oh, Woolie. Like, okay, so I go with Brian, right? And we get there about, I'd say, maybe 4 minutes before our booking time. And the door is, like, closed. It's, like, on Main O'Connell Street, and the door is closed. And I can see, like, everyone there. And there seems to be something going on. Someone has a microphone. It seems like there's a bit of, I don't know, karaoke or something. And so I'm a little nervous because I just don't know what to expect, you know? Mm-hmm. And I open the door, and the woman with the microphone turns around, and the only way I could describe her is a tough Dublin woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she has the uniform on, and she stares straight at me, and everything stops. And then she looks at me, and she just goes, "Get the fuck out." And I'm like, oh. And Woolie, she's one of these people. She has the aura of, like, the school teacher, the high school teacher you did not fuck with.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just the immediately fix you with a glance, and you stop, and you're like, "Oh, sir." Like, that is this woman's energy. So I go back, so me and Brian go back outside. She walks over to the door, and she locks it. And I'm like,
Good
oh, bit. No, I don't know if I can do this. And so eventually she comes back over to the door, doesn't open it, just unlocks it, and we come in. And so basically, there's this guy like I guess a host, and he's just standing there with a blank iPad in front of him, and he's just.
Right.
Doesn't look at us, doesn't do anything. Yeah, like, not even, it's not that he's unimpressed, he's oblivious to the fact that we're there. Like, he is somewhere else. Okay. And then I'm like, "Hi, I'm John Walsh, I have a reservation for 7. And so here's our menus." And he goes, "Cool." Onto the ground. So we have to pick our menus off the ground, and he says, "Sit wherever you want." And then we go over and we sit next to a table, and he goes, "Not there!"
Of course, yeah.
And
right.
So we're, like, sitting there, and I am scared because this woman, like, the kind of main woman in charge, the manager woman, she is tearing strips off people. Like, Woolie, I hear the phrase "dumb fucking bitch" so many times, and I'm like, oh my god, you know. And so anyway, eventually our waitress comes over to us, and our waiter is Jojo, and she is just the image of the young, disinterested college student.
Of course.
And she sits down at our table for a minute, and she's just, like, barely acknowledging us. Then she's like, "Okay, what do you want?"
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Welcome to Frit.
So Brian
Elysium
orders a vanilla milkshake, and she looks at him and she goes, "You want a nothing flavored milkshake?" It's just like, and he's like, "I like vanilla," and she's just like, "So out of every flavor you could order, you want a vanilla milk?" She will not let it go. And then eventually she kind of looks at me and she just goes, like, just, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And so then anyway, like, she goes and gets our order, and our milkshakes are ready, like, a couple of minutes later, and someone comes out, puts them on the counter, and she basically points at the milkshakes and goes, "Your milkshakes are ready." And we have to, like, get up and get them ourselves and sit back down. And it's like, you are just taking constant little, like, self-esteem damages. At one point she comes over and she puts, like, a hat on Brian, and it's like a little paper crown kind of thing. and it just says vanilla milkshake, vanilla personality, vanilla sex.
Custom. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that.
Yep. And then she comes back slightly later and she puts a hat on me, and I can't see what it says because it's on me. I say to Brian, "What does it say?" And he looks at it. He goes, "It says, at least he has sex." And I was like, "Oh, okay. This is." I am scared. I am like my food doesn't come with any ketchup, and I am genuinely afraid to go up and get it because I don't want to draw attention to myself. And it's about this point, Woolie, the strip club feelings start kicking in, where I'm like, oh, I just don't want anyone to look at me. I don't want anything bad to happen. I'm afraid. And
I can disappear if I close my eyes.
But eventually, I'm like, there's a big ketchup bottle over there. And so I get the ketchup bottle, and I walk like 3 steps. I get it, and I pick it up, and I turn around, and the woman, the manager woman, is like, "There's some fucking containers beside the ketchup bottle. Use them." And I look over, and there's these tiny little containers. And I have to go over. So I go over and I pick up a container, and I put my ketchup down. I get my ketchup, and I turn around to bring it back. And the manager woman is now sitting in my seat across from Brian, eating my food.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful.
So then anyway, we're enjoying our meal, and that's when game time starts.
Okay.
And so I get called up, and it's me and like 4 other people, and she says it's going to be scavenger hunts, okay? And so she says the only rules is you're not allowed to find the items from your own table. And I was like, okay. And she goes, item number 1, a white sock. And I was like, I don't. But then a girl just gives me her sock, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so I survived that round. This is like elimination. And then the next one is a black shoe. A woman gives me her black shoe, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing okay. This is fine. So then I'm in the fight. It's just me and this other guy, and it is just me and him, and she just goes, a black bra.
Yeah.
And Woolie, I shit you not, immediately a woman directly to my left has it out like that, and she hands it to me, and I'm just like, oh
yeah, okay.
And the guy beside me just reaches across and grabs it, and I'm just like, oh, okay. It was wild, dude. But there's one thing that is just one of the fucking craziest things I've ever seen. Let me dig out the footage here real quick. This actually, I'm gonna send you this because this actually blew my mind. Out of everyone there was one woman sitting by herself. Okay, the lights go down and music starts playing, and it's like do 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 do, and I'm like, what is that song? The manager woman comes over with a microphone, and she stands next to this woman who is sitting there by herself, and she tells everyone to take out their phones and put on their torches and start waving them. She gets up on the woman's booth and starts singing down at her, and she starts singing all by myself. And I gotta show you the video of this because it is fucking insanity.
This is considerably high effort roasting compared to what I know of this. Like, usually it's just like, hey, you come in, you have your meal, and for the most part, you get treated like shit. But these are like extensive bits we got going on here.
Yeah, it was. This was closer to interactive theater than anything else.
Right.
I'm gonna share my screen with you.
Oh man, just the audition process of like hiring people that are huge assholes that are not gonna crack. Okay, let's see.
Sad bitch, get friends.
Man, why would you walk in there alone?
I don't know. But you know, it was interesting because like Brian, so we had our our waiter Jojo. There are pictures of me, Brian, and Jojo up on my Instagram right now. _Eyepatch_Wolf, and she was like the most disinterested college student, like I was saying. But it was interesting because at one point there's like there is like a dance competition, and so Brian gets pulled up for that, and Jojo, our waitress, goes first. Here we are, and you basically have to walk around the diner and do a dance to whatever song that they play you, and Jojo just breaks out like the most fucking, I would say, like theater kid hot girl performance ever. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah,
it's like she
yeah.
is just giving it hell. And that made me
These
think,
are performers.
she is totally like an actor.
Yes.
And this is her. Like, not just an asshole, an actor.
Hired and killing it in the role. Because that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, you can hire really curmudgeon-y, shitty assholes for this job, but how do you stop them from cracking and laughing at people when moments happen? You know, That's the thing, and that's where you need someone who's got the chops. Oh wow, there you are with the little hat. Okay,
yep.
You guys, y'all look like Flapjack.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that
incredible
was an experience.
That's great.
It's not where I'd go to like hang out with someone. But it is totally where I'd go. Like, we weren't drinking, but I think a couple of drinks with a group of friends would be very memorable.
So not for a first date then.
There was a couple there on a first date, and I think
no.
I think the guy was getting like legit pissed.
Like what? Yeah.
He wouldn't engage in anything. He wouldn't acknowledge what was happening. The manager went after him so many times. She was like, "You're such a boring bastard, aren't you?" Like, that's who she was, you know?
I mean, that is going on a first date to the front row of a comedy show. Like, you're just pointing at yourself going, here, us, target, lock in, Z targeting, you know? Like, what the fuck? Okay. Man,
you know what, dude? It was an experience. I would recommend it to people. There's one in Dublin. There's a couple, like, I'm sure there's plenty all over in America. It's not a pleasant time.
I was gonna say recommend with the caveat, not for the faint of heart, perhaps. You know, not for short-tempered and or those who might not take a good talking to. Well, fair. I am kind of curious though, because I also have heard that like you can kind of be rude back, and like they'll quip back and forth with you as well.
Totally. And like a couple of people tried, but this woman was just a killer. Like you weren't getting one over on her. You know, it would be. I think me and you could go there and have a great time.
Shit, yeah. It's just, but again, whatever you dish out, you're gonna get like return fire on them. Sure.
You're also going to have to like dance in public, and like the songs she was making people dance to were like Anaconda.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I don't know about Canada at the very least, but I can say that in Vegas, in America, that's the spot. Of which. Got back from Evo. Had a good time there. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, very cool. But that's not what I was going to I guess bring up actually. I it was good. I do enjoy this type of month for fighting games. The summer is always exciting for that. But I was I guess going to take this in a different direction because I have a couple of thoughts about Morning Dew.
Are you serious? You've done it.
You absolute bastard.
Okay, wait. So first of all, do you know the significance of this chapter?
Yes. I thought at some point I was going to hit a point that would be like, yes, here. This is where we leave off. Little did I know that was fucking bullshit because I read all of it, John.
You read all of it?
All of it.
You read past that point?
No.
Okay.
Up to that point, which is... That's the whole thing. That's Berserk.
I mean, there is more Berserk after that.
But it's all the newer stuff, right?
Okay,
the newer bits.
That's all we need to say. That's all we need to say.
Like, literally the entire thing. 41 volumes. Like, what do we do?
I'm sorry. Did I make you read one of the greatest works of fiction of all time? Oh, I'm so sorry, Woolie. Oh, did you have to consume an artistic masterpiece? Fuck off. Like, what is this pretend anger?
It's the distance. It's the distance. It's not the quality. It is the distance, and it is the realization of I think I play way too politely with your time, sir. I think I go, oh yeah, give it an episode, give it 2. Don't worry about it. See if you can fit it into your schedule. It'll be okay.
Woolie, okay, you know what this is? This is more fucking Devil May Cry 3 on a dance mat bullshit from you, okay? You're, I'll just play Fear and Hunger on hard mode. No one asked you to do that.
You set this up in a way where essentially you were saying hit the end credits, but you weren't saying hit the end credits, right? That's the bit.
Woolie, genuinely, this is not the bit. When the bit happens, you'll know.
Okay.
This was not a malicious thing. For me, I was happy. I did want you to read that chapter, but I think there's maybe some significance to that chapter that you don't understand yet.
Okay.
And we're gonna get there. We might even get there.
Did you think it would have been possible within a month?
No, but I never said read it in a month.
Okay. The goal prior to the last one was not to get to that exact point. It was just
the goal was to hit that exact point eventually. I thought that would be like 6 months from now.
Okay,
there was no goal because that's too much of your time.
Then I took it as I want you to get to this line by the next month.
Yeah, I know, Woolie. You fucking Fear and Hungered it again.
All right.
Now am I going to suffer? You going to recommend another David Cage game?
Well, you know what, John? It's fucking incredible.
It's just, dude.
It's the best.
It is.
Oh my god!
Best.
All right, so yeah. Hey guys, I read. Can I say all of Berserk? Because I know that there's the parts after, but how much is there after versus before?
Woolie.
It's like it's got to be like.
If I could interject, I think that's a conversation that we are going to have. It's not a conversation for right now.
You're teasing them, aren't you?
I'm cooking.
You made them mad. You just vexed them because I came in with things to say. Because god damn,
Yeah.
Dude.
Does that story not just break your fucking heart open 1,000 times?
I have thoughts, but I also have questions for you, and I have I have a dialogue I want to have with you about this, and yeah, because there's things I want to know about how you interpret things, and oh man, is there just stuff.
Do we make an intermission lounge out of this?
We might just have to.
But I think no, I think okay. Full spoilers, we're gonna do an intermission lounge episode on this. But I think the people deserve an actual conversation about Berserk. Yeah.
I think so, yes. So I mean, how do you want to go about this? I'm following your lead, but I will say this.
It's your world.
I have read all the way up to the line that you specified, and that is the last line that Mura ever wrote. And then from there on out, I guess the most recent 5% or so of whatever's going on is the current stuff, which I don't know. But that's where I'm at. So I feel like that's the entirety of it. Is it wrong to say that that's 95% of it?
That is the entirety of it. That was my intention. But I can't believe you read that much in a month, because when I did that last video on Berserk, that is how I read it. And personally, Woolie, that's like the best experience with a piece of media I've ever had. I fell so in love with everything about that story.
Okay, so kayfabe aside, what if I told you that like I journeyed through and I powered on Spite for a bit, but realistically I couldn't fucking put it down? How about that?
I mean, I knew that's like, why are we pretending?
Yeah.
What kind of sentence is?
But it's definitely like, I really, as I was going through, I was kind of like, where the fuck is this line? You know, I kept every time the arc name changed, you know, when Conviction went away and fucking Millennium Falcon popped up, and I'm like, okay, you know, and then Fantasia. Where the fuck is this line? So that's what it was. I'm like, this carrot is not getting any closer, you know. And then I got it, and I was like, oh, like I saw it, and I'm losing my shit. And then I turned the page, and then it's like you get the message
without spoilers. Basically, that line is not only the last line Miura ever wrote. That line comes on, I would say, Woolie, easily the biggest cliffhanger of the entire series. Like, the fucking insane, like, level of storytelling there. Okay. So there's so much that I want to talk to you about here, but I just want to hear, Woolie, like, what are your favorite like moments? Like, what parts?
Okay, yeah, we can get into the nitty gritty on a further discussion, because you did want to set this up so that we could have that. So let's do that. But just to go over it, I mean, so yeah, I guess spoilers for Berserk up to volume 41, if you're listening to this from here forward. I mean, I think there's things that so one, I know that I stopped before Shirk gets introduced for sure, right? So because that was where I was like, okay, I definitely don't know anything about what's going on here. And there's a lot of discussions I want to have about like the kids and the croup and the, you know, old Uncle Guts hanging out with the kids, you know, and their adventures. Just the two things that stand out to me hard are that I knew that Artorias was Guts, but I don't think I realized how much.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
I knew, so you had a lot of shit to get through, or a lot of new shit.
Oh my god! Like down to the move that he fucking hits Grunbeld with is the I'm like, oh, they just did it. Like Dark Souls for a second didn't even pretend. And I know the artwork with it hanging off with the sword off the side as well kind of spells it out for you. But like there's the panel of him doing the jump flip slam on Grunbeld, when the Berserk armor is activated, is just like, yeah, let's build a game around this. Let's build a boss fight around this. Let's go, It's the sickest shit ever. All of that, of course, the action and the majesty of, like every wind up and release into the Dragon Slayer exploding
I have
page.
an entire 2 minutes in my video about that. Like just the satisfaction of the and then the world explodes. It's fucking beautiful.
And I'm almost afraid to pull on any other strings right now because I feel like there's just it's going to be too much. But I'll say this: I like my chest, like the feeling of a finger pointing, just pressing you right in the sternum, and just ugly tears on the Casca retrieval segment, episode, not even arc, mini arc. Casca, like that is like, it might be like the best. It like that on its own might just be the best. It fucking annihilated me.
So the first page spread, or the first page of just Casca's face, and it's her, and she's back. That got tears out of me. That was just
So the beginning of that for me was like opening up. So okay, you got dog guts, right? Just dragging the coffin, and then when they open it up and the broken doll is in, and like that was like, oh fuck, right? And then everything about just, hey, let's go into the physical manifestation of all the damage and what that looks like inside, and like that was just, it was incredible. It's infinitely better than I thought that was going to be, for everything it was and for how that would work. I always, and again, this is one of those things too, where I had someone spoil that, the results of this chapter for me when it happened, because they went, hey, Woolie, have you seen the latest chapter? It's fucking crazy. And then posted a picture of that. And then
Don't do that. Don't do that.
The worst, right? Because it's that like, oh my God, I'm excited. Have you seen this yet? But then not giving the opportunity to the person to be like, actually, I haven't. But now, who cares? Because you've ruined that. Anyway, so seeing how that happened, it was like, not just a snapping of the fingers, not just a quick, not even just a paragraph of like, it's a just journey into the subconscious, and everything experienced is like, it's a slow process of just piece by piece rebuilding this person, and it's like, it's agonizing, and it's like, that's what rebuilding a psyche almost would look like, through therapy, through trauma, healing, through, you know what I mean? Like these day-to-day slow steps of just getting a piece back of what you were. And it's like, we don't know how long they spent there, and like, but it's just, this is how much work it takes. The feeling of like, it is an unbelievable Herculean amount of work, to rebuild that, and
I'm sure you have some sense of it, because like, you obviously experienced Berserk a long time ago, but it's like, for me, like when we finally hit that point, it's like, it was like fucking seeing someone that you haven't seen in like 20 years, it was like, oh my fucking God. And the fact that you've been there with the characters the entire, like, that's one thing I really just love so much specifically about weekly manga that I don't think any other medium except maybe pro wrestling can do, where it's happening week to week in a kind of time scale that sort of slots along your own, so because it's like, like Guts, I remember when Casca was Casca, and it was a long fucking time ago.
And for for every chapter of the boat, I said to myself, remember, this lasted forever, right? Like I made sure to remind myself, imagine you had to fucking wait forever, right? But that it all getting to that exact point, and it's so like to me that's the best part of this fucking exceptional piece of media, and I was spoiled on the end result of it, but it was so well done that I still got fucking hit by every moment of it on the way.
Look, I think this is something we disagree on, but I really feel like you cannot spoil truly exceptional art because there's nothing like experiencing it. Like, it can take away from the moments, but I mean, like, every time I reread Berserk, I love it more, because I just appreciate it more.
So that I know that's for some, I think some people do really have that. I know for myself that if it's truly exceptional like this is, it's very easy to just still get the impact of it. But I do know that, like, not knowing would have meant even more. That's all. Like, for me, in a situation where it's incredible, it'll be incredible both ways. One version would hit even more, without what, because the feeling of getting blindsided by a story is like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
That's it.
I know, like, there is so much to talk about,
but that moment.
So for me, there is a different moment, and it's way subtler. And like, there is no real plot significance to it even, but it's like, it's this moment, right? And it's just like a couple of spreads at the end of a chapter, and it's Guts, it's Farnes, it's Shirke, it's Isidoro, it's that other guy, the windsword guy, what's his name? Serpico. It's just them walking on a beach.
Mm-hmm. And no one remembers the other elf. What's her name? Anyway,
and you just get this like double page spread, and it's like Guts is just kind of looking at them, but it's like after everything that happened to Band of Hawk. Do you know what bit I fucking love?
I have a really good one for that. Yeah,
you know when Griffith comes back and he's like, "And I will name my army the Band of Hawk." And then a couple of chapters later, someone says to Guts, "Oh yeah, there's some Griffith guy. Oh, and he's got this cool army called the Band of Hawk." And you just see Guts' face.
Yeah, absolutely. And then a bit later, and there's like, fuck. What is wrong with me? Other surviving member.
The kid. Rickon.
So Rickert is like, after all this time, you're like, okay, what's he gonna say to him? Because he's like, I don't know, because he wasn't there for the eclipse. It's all this weird shit, and then dude just walks up and it's like, hey, this new Band of the Hawk, the wings are a little too curved. It's not the same logo. Ours was just a straight one, and this, it's just, and it's like, that's it.
I'm amazed you didn't go for the slap.
I mean, the slap is incredible, but I'm just like, even just the part where it's just like, that's not, like, he holds up the original that he has, and it's like, this new, that's not our crest, this was our crest. It was just like,
But I think that moment on the beach is like, you think back to Guts and the Band of Hawk, and it's such a fun group, and like they're so together, and they're such like they're a family, they're family. And then like obviously Guts loses that, and when Guts loses it, you feel every fucking shred of that loss. Like, it is devastating, and in the chapters that follow, he starts looking like an actual physical monster, and it's like, this is the fucking worst. But then with that moment on the beach, it's kind of like Guts is sort of, it's like it kind of like, and it, like it's like it clicks with him, where it's like, holy shit, like, I have a family again. And it's just this massive, like, well, you can really get over anything, can you? You know, like you always have the capacity to heal, and I think like that's what Berserk is to me. You know,
but while you're trying to heal, Griffith stonks are rising.
Oh, have you heard about this Griffith guy? Real up and comer.
like it's like the whole, like, oh, just getting over your shit while looking over, and it's like, yeah, well, you know, fuck the other people. You don't need to worry about them. Just, you know, stay on your own path. Stay true to yourself. How are those old fuckers and haters doing anyway? Oh, they're doing amazing. Their lives are incredible. It's never been better. That's cool. Fuck the haters. I'ma do me. Oh God. Yeah,
and like
yeah.
it's so horrible because it's kind of like, in a way, Guts like has everything he's ever wanted, and like, you know, especially towards the end when it's like, you know, Casca's back, and it's like, but then it's like everything you've ever wanted is right here. Like, and God, Woolie, like when Mira died, do you remember the second last chapter?
Mm-hmm.
It's literally Guts having a conversation with an old man about how he's just got to leave it all behind, how this is his life now. These are the people he loves. Love is all that matters. That's how Berserk ended for me when Miura died. Like, that was the last chapter I ever read, and I was like, fuck, it was Michelle's birthday when he died. And we went to Dublin Zoo, and it was pouring rain, and I'm standing in front of the gorilla enclosure, and I'm like... like, I'm just so sad. But like, I was happy because it was like, the solace I took was like, Guts found his peace.
You got to find it where you can.
He found it. Mm-hmm. But then the media company is like, wait a minute, wait a minute, we got one more chapter that Mura worked on. And I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe some further closure for this. And then it's fucking Griffith and Guts coming face to face for the first time, like, in like 15 years. And that's it.
That's the, yeah, like, talk about a fucking 180. Yeah. That's insane. That is, the whiplash is nonsense.
If people would like to relive that entire journey, I have a very long, very stupid video called Why You Should Still Read Berserk. I put a dating sim bit in there. You can date Casca, Guts, and Griffith. It was a fun video, and I'm still proud of that one. I like that one. It was fun to talk about something that I love more than anything.
Well, I mean, I guess now's the time for me to go back and watch the second half of it, right? Because there was that break point for those who have completed it. So
you have now qualified, Woolie.
There you go. Okay,
yeah. Final question. Now, having consumed much of...
Well, I just wanted to quickly put in there that, like, it's really interesting how that entire, like, ending sequence went in terms of release, because there was something exceptionally similar for Vagabond, where the last book out that came out was, like, it's a moment of, like, okay, this is not the conclusion, but we have grown in a way that we can actually stop here and be like, all right, I can get my hands off. And then I found out there were a couple of extra chapters that were just not put into a volume for just immediately after of the start of a new arc. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I guess, yeah. And they're fine, and they're excellent. They're fine. But it's just like, there was a very clean bookend, you know,
right? Yeah,
that then was undone.
It's not the anti-climax; it's the extra climax.
It's the extra.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I have two questions. So first of all, do you now understand the necessity of the throne of heaven?
I get it.
Because like, what is ever gonna come close to that?
I get, like, So I mean, this is all gonna. It's just this is where it just hits the realm of the personal, right? But like, for me, Vagabond, it means a lot. It means a lot, and that it's a lot of it is tied to me and when I was reading it in my life and the experience I had and all of those things, and I feel a way about that I don't feel about other things. But I 1000% have this on every other like this is above just about all of it. I get it 100%. And again, I would say that like I had it like that high just based on almost like the vibes of it being like incredible with how it handles all this material and stuff. The fact that that Casca chapter was like, for already how high I put it, that doubled it. Like I can't explain how much I loved that entire sequence so much. Like, and it necessitates a space. It necessitates a space. You don't compare things to this lightly. And this is so weird because I've had 10 years of trying really hard to not be hyperbolic when talking about media, because I've learned from getting burnt on being too hyperbolic about things and overhyping things and such, and I don't like doing that. But there's nothing to contain here, man. There's a lot I want to discuss with you and figure out like what your take is on the journey through this. So
we can go through it in detail. Yeah, I think the intermission lounge is the best place for it because this podcast will be 5 hours long.
But let the record show.
Speaking of which,
the plastic
if
is
folks
off.
would like to, nice. If folks would like to head on over to patreon.com/Versus Wolves podcast.
That's the one.
Hell yeah. We, listen, look, at some point you are going to run out of this podcast. We're going to be with you for the next 2 to 3 hours. You got us. We're your buddies. We're here for you. But at some point, this is going to end.
Yeah. I hope that...
But what, Woolie? What if it didn't have to?
What if it didn't have to? I hope that didn't feel too much, though. Just like, if you want the rest, you better fucking get the rest. I hope it,
No, I want them to know what they're dealing with here. That's what's happening.
Okay. I'm just... Jesus Christ. But yes, no, we do have a space for these conversations to go, and that's the place for it. And it's been great so far. And I mean, not to mention, in addition to the fact that we've had some great discussions, and there's a pretty hot one coming out this month as well. I'm looking forward to seeing people's opinions
BoJack
on
Horseman.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to hear two people just fucking melt down over a show, we got into it about BoJack Horseman.
Real hard, because you brought that up. That was a combo breaker here, so it led to a discussion over there.
Yeah, I was disappointed it was a combo breaker, but coming back around and I think it was nearly better suited to just having its own fucking thing,
but no, I just want to say, like, in addition to that, like, the things that have been arising from the Discord that, like, people are on the Versus Wolves Discord as well. Just what, like, the meme of what was it? It's like, anytime you start a recommend or die, it's only a matter of time before someone starts talking like Sephiroth.
I mean, I'll eat the bullet on that one.
And then the creation of the fucking amazing recommend or die hostility tier list, right?
Oh my god, I haven't seen this yet.
It's incredible. In the Discord, they've been making charts of like, okay, from left to right, you have bad media to good media, and then from bottom to top, you have chill media down to hostile.
Wow. Okay.
So you have to interpret exactly. So Earthbound is both chill and good, right?
So do we have it? Is there a graphic for this?
Yeah. So here, let me. So okay, people have been making their own. Let me drop one in there so that you can see. People have been discussing what they feel is the correct placement of each of these items. But here, let me put this one in as the most recent example. Right. So.
Oh my god.
Right. Yeah. Earthbound is both chill and good. You know, Fear and Hunger is here it's on the chill side but leans on the bad side. Fighting games going to a tournament could be in the middle. It could be neutral. Depends on your experience.
I would inverse Fear and Hunger's position there.
You have Hunter x Hunter, which is good media but hostile.
Oh, that is incredible.
Right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, this is what it is. It's like, again, it's continuing the idea of it's not just what you recommend, it's how you recommend it. That's how we're coming about this. So it's great, and that's what they're doing. Shit's hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you'd like more of that, please go check us out on the patreon.com/versus wolves podcast.
We appreciate the heck out of it, but we also just appreciate you being here. So thank you for listening. So really,
thank you very much.
This is the only comment section that I regularly look at because it makes me laugh. I saw people getting into big, like, which Dungeons and Dragons alignments are we?
Oh God, yeah. And I mean, honestly, just like spinning in flux, just rotating constantly, bouncing around.
So the big ones were
like it
was the biggest ones were neutral evil versus chaotic evil, or just true neutral versus true neutral.
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Well, much ado. But before we get into the recommend or die, let's take a quick word from our sponsor.
Let's do it.
All right. This month, Versus Wolves is brought to you by Rocket Money.
Mm-hmm.
That is our first sponsor, and much appreciated. Thank you very much. Hey.
You know what, Woolie? We've had the odd conversation about finances and stuff like that, and I really think there is a lot of value to actually knowing what the fuck is going on with your money, because I spent a long time having no idea until I eventually got to the point where I was like, I think I need to do this. And I genuinely think one of the problems is, like, you know, everyone's fucking busy nowadays. People are working, people are trying to get whatever little shreds of personal life they can. You're trying to keep up with people. I think in situations where, like, you gotta just sit down and monitor your shit.
I appreciate even framing it like we're busy and we're up to a lot, but the truth is I'm also just lazy sometimes, and I'm not keeping track of when a subscription is going on my card or what's happening and what's recurring. I legitimately am just like,
Okay.
Wait, when was that?
So,
What's happening? I don't even recognize that name.
Let me reframe that a little bit. Sometimes working adults like me do not have a lot of time, or maybe you're just a fucking child like Woolie. Either way, Rocket Money can save you a lot of time and a shocking amount of money. I was reading over some of the literature they sent, and they said they had this fucking stat that, like, It gave me a little bit of, like, oh god, where they're like, okay, how much money does, like, the average American think they're spending on streaming or on, like, subscription services? Mm-hmm. And the average answer was $62. Mm-hmm. And the actual answer was, I believe, closer to 200. 300. Okay, god. And I was like, how does someone spend 300 on subscription services? And then I started doing the mental math, and then I was like, oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
Also, they're sneaky. And
Yep.
you don't quite, so you're like, oh, your couple of months were free, but when they're not free, then it reverts to a monthly and stuff. And then as well, I noticed the other day that some of them were hooked up direct to my card, but some were hooked up to my like PayPal, and some were, you know what I mean? So like some
That'll
are
get
in
you.
different places, and you're like,
That'll get
oh,
you.
it's not going from your card or your account, it's going from your online PayPal account, and that's another place. So it's all deceptive and confusing, and yeah, you don't want to get lost in terms of what you're paying every month on subscriptions and stuff that you forget about. So yeah, what the number they've got is 74% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, and 1,000,000% I know I have them in there for some names and companies I don't recognize as well. So the point,
There's even some I know I have, but you know what? That's the thing where it's like it would take me 10 fucking minutes to sort this out, and I wouldn't have to pay it anymore. And it has been that way for 4 years. And
So-
what's cool about an app like this is it will just cut that in one fell swoop.
straight up, it's a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, and can monitor your spending or help lower your bills so you can grow your savings. For the most part, you connect your account and it can find whatever forgotten subscriptions you've just been getting racked up charges with, and just cancel that right away with a couple taps, and saving money where you didn't even know you were spending it. So that's a super legitimately useful thing to have in the day and age where most subscriptions hope you forget about them and are designed to do that to you. So you can get in there. They can negotiate and lower bills for you up to 20% as well. If you submit a picture of your bill, Rocket Money can take care of the rest. They'll deal with customer service for you and stuff like that too. That's pretty useful. So if you've got subscriptions which you've forgotten about and you want a quick and easy way to take care of them, stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/VSWolves. That's rocketmoney.com/VSWOLVES.
Yeah, it is a genuinely good way just to like keep track of your own finances, and it helps out the show. So yeah, thanks everybody.
Appreciate your support. Once again, rocketmoney.com/VSWolves. Thanks, Rocket Money.
Woolie, we got a Kathy update. Woolie,
We're in the overtime, right? We're having fun in overtime.
I have been through the fucking Dokapon wars. It has been harrowing. It has been brutal. I have been getting my shit rocked every week by this fucking character.
Okay.
Woolie, the amount of fan art I have gotten of fucking Kathy at this point is actually insane. Check out this one I got from Hedgie Buns. This is Kathy. This is my Dokapon rival, the NPC that is
atop the throne.
That's just disrespectful. I feel just disrespectful.
Excellent job, Hedgie. Important to note, the camera is low to the ground in prostration, where you should be, at the feet of Queen Kathy.
Here's another one.
Yo. Oh, yes, let's go.
So, Woolie, let me spin you a little tale here, okay? As discussed in the previous episode, the war with Kathy rages on, and she is pulling so far away, like it's like Woolie, it's done. I'm cooked. I'm dead. Like, there's no way to catch up with her.
But you never said, and you know what, John? You never said die. You kept the war fight. You kept the fight going.
And I am still keeping the fight going.
That's
okay?
incredible. That's
I will see this to the end. But
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
So, Steve, the lowest member,
which we need to hear you say for the record, you are enjoying yourself. You are inflicting this.
Look, no, I have dropped the kayfabe with Dokapon. I think Dokapon is an amazing game.
Okay.
I genuinely love it. I love Dokapon.
All right.
That does not mean that you didn't inflict it with malice. And as ever, Woolie, it is the the emotion behind the recommendation. Okay?
Right? Refer to the chart.
Refer to the chart.
Refer to the chart. Good,
So-
bad, chill, hostile.
So Steve becomes the Darkling for a second time, and he activates, I think it's the most powerful power in the whole thing. And it's basically a near total reset. I think it's called World
Revolution, essentially. It's like the Bowser Revolution. Yes.
Yeah. All property is erased
the
except
entire
castles.
game.
Yeah. Everything back to zero. Kathy still has a lot of castles.
Mm-hmm. So that's that, like, you hit that button and you better prepare your villain speech.
Yep.
This world is forsaken. We need to go back to zero.
And that's what happens. And like, Fox, if you could put the graph on the screen, I sent it to you, Woolie. It is Kathy's value plummeting.
Oh. And then you have to learn the true value of innate investments, of the things that are a part of your character that are not listed.
So, I might get a little excited, Woolie. And I might...
you don't say.
I might make a pledge. I declare that if I am going to defeat Kathy, it is going to happen. And I want to just... There's a lot at stake here, Woolie, because I realize something, right? Kathy, this NPC that you brought into my life, okay? You brought her in. Like, we can both agree that happened.
I'm letting you finish the sentence.
She is not a regular enemy. She is not a regular boss. And you know why that is? Take Mesmer from Elden Ring, right? How do you beat Mesmer?
I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. Well, the evil guy on the front of the box, you do fight him at one point. I'm not going to say anything else.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Spoilers.
But how do you beat Mesmer? You fight him over and over and over and over and over and over. Mm-hmm. You evolve, he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You're human, he's a computer. His existence is locked in zeros and ones, and you just fight him as many times as you need to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kathy, once this game's over, she's gone forever. I can never fight her again. I have one chance to beat her, Woolie.
This is the only time.
I have one chance.
This is the only timeline.
This is
Doctor
the only
Strange.
time. This is the final timeline, Woolie. If I lose to her,
I see.
I will
see.
never be let live it down. Okay,
and that's where this is coming from now. Because I was about to say, I was like, you ever start pointing at a WrestleMania sign and then realize that it's way further and higher up than you thought, and you're like,
I'm pointing at the WrestleMania sign, Woolie, but it's like meteorite flying towards me.
It's starting to eclipse the sun.
Yeah,
Like,
it's on fire and it's about to smash me into tiny pieces.
But
so
proclaiming victory.
I know myself. Okay, and I just need to find the right motivation. And so I say, if I don't beat Kathy, I will play all of Omicron on stream.
Wait, as in again?
Again. I only ever played a select portion on stream before. I will play all of Omicron on stream.
I can't reach the levels of masochism you inflict. I'm not handing you the paddle. You know what I mean? Like, there's a level of this that at a certain point, I'm just hands off. I don't know what to say. But if whatever motivators you need to put in place, to get you where you need to go, I guess, man. But I'm starting to get suspicious of the conditions you place on yourself, man. Are we Are we walking into Mosgus's dungeon right now? Like, what is... Anyway.
Everything you're saying would be fair if it didn't work.
Look, I've said what I had to say already about this. So, in the extracurricular, you're free to do whatever you want with your time.
Woolie, you're not hearing me. You're not hearing me here, buddy. I start coming first.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Woolie, the threat of Omicron lets me tap into Ultra Instincts. Okay. I am Super Saiyan.
Okay.
Every move I am making pays off, and I am coming first. And Woolie, I'm coming first by a pretty decent margin.
Okay.
Then, I don't know if you're familiar with it, Woolie. There's a story in Dokapon Kingdom that involves the king trying to destroy an ancient tablet that has his drill on it.
Wait a minute, John. Was that sentence supposed to say that you are in first place?
Yes.
Okay.
There was.
The English language is interesting.
Wait. What did you read? What did you think I said? What do you think I said?
I don't know, John. I have no idea. All right, sure. What?
Willie, what's going on? Explain.
I was very confused by that exchange in which I described a flogging Mosgus dungeon BDSM scenario.
Okay, wait, no,
which
that's...
you then paused
and said it
you
works.
Don't understand. You misunderstand me, Woolie. And I was like, yo, I can't touch that power level. This dude is, all right.
Woolie, if we could take our mind out of the gutter for one moment, please. Do you mind if we try and run this fucking video game podcast?
All right. Run it back. Okay. You're currently in first place. That's pretty nuts. Holy shit. Wow.
Well, no, that's not precisely true.
Oh.
It's more I was coming in first place. But then two things happen, Woolie. One, the side quest with the tablet in the temple. And that is a 3-hour-long stream full of plans and backup plans and trying to get to this spot in the temple. And in the last second, Kathy kills me with a blackmail.
Okay. I'm not like, is it even worth asking what the others are up to at this point? You know, like
no, they're too far. They're just doing nothing.
Okay.
But then salvation, Woolie. Rico Sr.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. You're deep. Mm-hmm. You're deep.
Mm-hmm.
Now and like this is all like. Do you know? Did you see the mountain? Did you see the underwater? Did you?
Yes.
Okay. You've hit the zones. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So Rico Sr. is like kind of the final boss of Dokapon, and the way I am assured by Dokapon experts in my chat, who I think are probably fans of yours as well, is that Rico Sr. is basically designed to curb stomp the first person who fights him. And there's a way to beat him, but you have to get this super obscure spell and called Down, and that lets you reduce his stats to the point that you can actually fight him. And so with glee, I watch Kathy go into the temple, a lamb to the slaughter, Woolie, and I'm going to roll up behind Kathy. I'm going to kill Rico Sr. I'm going to get all the rewards. Kathy lands on a magical item space. Kathy pulls down.
Down.
She walks up to Rico Sr. and fucking curb stomps him.
Oh my god.
And at this point, I'm like, what the fuck is this NPC? How does it know to do everything? Like, what kind of lunatic programmed this NPC to do this? Because, like, Gabrielle and Steve, the other two, they're basically slipping in their shit the entire game, you know? And they're all sneaky. They're all set to the same.
She's just being a little sneaky, you know? Just snooping around.
And, that Kathy takes a dramatic lead, and I am told I have one chapter left to turn it around.
So I was like, you're describing this part, but I'm like, that's not the end. You know?
That's not the end.
Death is not the end.
But that is where we are currently at.
Okay, wow.
Next episode, I will have the final battle with Kathy. There has been one caveat. A lot of my chat have requested that the punishment game be Shenmue 3 as opposed to Omicron.
I see.
So,
okay.
which I think you'll agree is a fair replacement.
That is fair. It is different.
You ever played Shenmue 3, Woolie?
Why? Who's asking?
I'm just curious. You ever played a Shenmue 1 or 2?
Have I? I don't know.
I guess we'll see.
Is there? Do I have to answer?
No, you don't.
Okay. All right. Fucking. Oh my god! Listen. All right. Well, again, as we're in the extracurricular hours and such. You know, God bless. I did not expect this journey to go as far as it has been going.
Oh no, but like seriously, again, dropping the kayfabe. I Dokapon has been the most fun to stream, and like my chat is so into it. I get so much I've started doing like weekly fan art like sections just because there's so much of it. You know, it's been a blast, dude. And you know, I think it's clear what your intentions were, and I think I rose past that, which I am wanting to do. But yeah, it was. It's been amazing. It's been a really cool game.
Well, you know, like I said, there's no meaning in beating you like this. So, heal your wounds, grow strong, Sean. Then we'll settle the matter.
Fuck, man. Okay. I just.
Is that not the best place to drop the Virgil quote?
It is. It's real good. It's real strong.
All right, you hit me with a lockout on a recommendation. We have combo breakers into lockouts as tech now. That's the new terminology. We gotta go places, man.
We sure do. Okay. God, I can't believe we're an hour and 20 into this podcast and we have not even we've not even started the main section. But I think maybe it's time. Woolie, I watched a very special show.
Take it away, baby. Take it away.
Called Galactic Battlers.
Oh! Stop it!
Galactic Battlers is what Michelle started calling Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Is that what that is?
I just thought that was really funny.
God damn it. I was like, where the fuck is this going? Okay, all right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Legend of the Galactic Heroes. This was an interesting one for me because this one has been on my periphery for the longest time. I think as long as I've been doing YouTube, people who are like hardcore into anime have been like messaging me being like, you gotta check out Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Yeah. If they're coming, that's the thing, is if they're coming in calling it like Ginga AU Densets,
yep.
Relax. chill. But yeah. It's been
so there. Yep. It's been a thing for a long time, and specifically your recommendation was to watch the first two movies. And so that was My Conquest of the Sea of Stars.
Yep.
And Overture to a New War.
Right. And then with vibes, with love and kindness wherever your heart were to take you after that, which hopefully would be curiosity beyond those first 2 points, but knowing that space on its own does not do enough for you.
Yeah, you would certainly hope there would be curiosity, wouldn't you, Woolie?
That's the hope.
Mm-hmm.
With love and kindness.
It'd be pretty brutal here if maybe I tried to warn you that space wasn't my thing. And you got your hopes up about...
Well, look, I'm not getting any hopes, and I'm not placing them anywhere. I just want to know what you thought of those first 2 pieces of media, and then we'll see what's up.
So, one lazy Sunday afternoon, I stick on My Conquest of Sea of Stars, which is like a hour-long...
OVA.
Yeah.
Not too hard to find it, right? I mean...
No, it's pretty available.
For everybody who's curious, there's a series called Legend of the Galactic Heroes, The New Thesis. This is not what we're describing.
Yeah, and
we're describing the original series, which as far as I know, I think the whole thing is literally just on archive.org. Like,
it's that old.
They've uploaded the entire series from the 80s up to archive.org. Yeah.
Cool. So I have watched like 1 or 2 episodes, but it's been long enough that I think I'm kind of like, I just want to go into this completely blank and just I want to see what the thing is here. Like, what is the thing that pulls people into this very old series? Because like the thing about like when the first thing you'll notice about like this show when you watch it is like, this is old anime.
Okay, it's just the late 80s, 90s. It's not that old, he says, realizing that the 80s was 40 years ago.
Woolie, I want you to think of that young man we met in the AT&T store.
Oh, man. It's just, to me, old holding the O is like 60s, 70s Osamu Tezuka, not 91, you know? But
can I get...
Yeah.
Okay, this came up on my Discord recently. Can I give you a piece of advice? Don't ever try and figure out when the Xbox 360 came out. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't figure out how many years it's been. Don't. Woolie, no.
Man.
Okay, but so what I mean
or
this...
don't look at a screenshot of FF6, FF7, and then like FF10, and the span of like 3 years or 4 between them, or whatever the fuck it was.
That's fucking wow.
6 to 7 back-to-back years. Anyway, sorry, go on.
What I mean by this is that this is a show from the 80s, but I would say the visual kind of look of it is maybe a bit more kind of early 80s, even 70s.
Yes.
This is before anime really started looking like anime. Like, this actually kind of has the look of a lot of stuff, like a lot of kind of Western cartoon shows from the same era. Like, there is no kawaii in this show.
Mm-hmm.
There is Bishi boys.
Yes,
that's one of the things that really surprised me.
but they made a decision to instead of leaning into where the 90s was going, they went with a very retro look. More that was older than the time they were making it. Which is
interesting because it was retro in the 80s, not 80s retro. And I gotta say, this was one of the first stumbling blocks I kind of hit with it, where I was kind of like, it's really important for me to have, for a show to have a look that really just like pulls me in. And I love loose, expressive animation. I love animators doing dumb shit. And this show is like the most buttoned down visually I have ever seen. Every character is kind of straight and rigid, and there's no funny faces. There's like all like the facial expressions on them a lot of the time. It's very subtle, very, very subtle.
Yeah,
and it kind of that carries through it, like this the soundtrack and everything. Like, it's very orchestral.
Yes, classical,
and which Space again, opera. Not super my thing. I don't like orchestral music. Because I just feel like a lot of it really sounds the same. You know, like I prefer video game music to be weird and interesting.
Okay.
And so then, like, you know, you are getting these very large fleet battles, and you are getting these really, like, wide scale kind of skirmishes. And this is all in this first movie I'm talking about. And I'm about 20 minutes in, and I'm not disliking it, but it's not grabbing me either. And I'm kind of like, okay, maybe this one ain't gonna pan out. But there's these moments that kind of get me. And the first one is that, like, there is this huge bombardment of this massive fleet. And they say, and, like, at this point, I have no concept of the scale of these battles. Like, none at all. I don't know if we're dealing with hundreds of people or if we're dealing with thousands of people or what. I don't know how many people man these ships or what's going. And so there's this massive bombardment. And then they read the casualty number. Just they casually read the casualties in this bombardment. And it's like 1.3 million people. And it's like, oh my fucking God. Like, that concept alone is kind of existentially horrifying. That many people could be wiped out like that. And this particular battle doesn't fucking matter. Like, one of the whole things with this show is, like, these wars have been raging for centuries, and no one ever really makes any ground. At this point, it's nearly it's not a pantomime, but it's nearly like no one's really expecting to make major advancements.
Yeah, it's just become par for the course. Yeah.
And so, like, I was like, oh, interesting. That's kind of cool. But then we meet our main character, or at least one of the main characters, Reinhardt. And my immediate reaction is, that guy! I have seen this guy in people's avatars for years. And I really like Reinhardt. He is a weird and interesting and fun character. More than a little bit of Griffith in him.
He's not riding a horse, but perhaps
he's not riding a horse.
Yeah,
we'll get back to Reinhardt. We'll get back to Reinhardt.
Did.
Yep. But I like him. But there's
He's
a moment
got a universe to seize. What's up?
There's a moment in this first episode, and I'm a little fuzzy on the details here. But basically what happens, this Reinhardt is like this really young captain of this ship, but he's also like, his sister is like betrothed to the Kaiser, so he's considered quite high up in the society. All the other like captains are kind of talking shit about him, but the thing is like, he's a genius tactician. He's really, really smart. And there's this moment.
She's not betrothed, but she's basically like a courtesan of the king. She's a consort, you know?
Yeah. And there's this moment where he gets into it with this older commander there, I think, who's like on the opposite side. There's like the Imperial, and then there's the Alliance of the Planets.
Yeah. There's exactly. So basically, you've got your space allies and your space axis.
The rebels and the Emperor.
Yeah.
More complicated than that, but yeah. And so there's this moment.
Infinitely, but.
So there's this battle, and basically what happens is, and I'm going to get some of the details wrong here, but I think Reinhardt, he dumps a bunch of explosives into basically the surface of a sun just below him, which creates a massive updraft because of all the heat, which pushes his enemies above the clouds where he can see them, and he attacks them from there. And he wins this battle because of that. That's like the kind of broad strokes of what happens.
Wild tactician play. Yeah.
And so then I'm kind of like, oh. And this is like a developing opinion as I'm watching it. This is Death Note with spaceships.
Okay.
Now, that opinion is going to change later. But that is the first kind of little bit of the show getting its claw in me. I'm like, oh, okay, there's interesting shit happening here. Like, the way they explain the space battles is actually really well done, and it's really like you understand what's happening and you're with the characters the entire way. It's at any point it's nearly like you could pause the show and try and figure it out yourself, and I love that.
Yeah, you're looking again. It's like there's the element of like Death Note with spaceships is an interesting way to put it, because it's like, yes, tacticians making their chess plays, and then the results being like, okay, how much does this person know about the situation, and outwitting each other and stuff like that. But like you said, underneath that, there's the numbers associated with every decision, right?
Yeah, and we will definitely get to that. But then, following this battle, there is a moment, and this is the moment that kind of turns me on the show. Like, this is where I start actually getting really interested in this. And it's with the commander Reinhardt had defeated with this updraft trick. And it's such a small line, but I was like, oh, fuck. The commander's like in his, like, he's talking to like his superiors, and he's like, yeah, look, I don't know what happened that battle. There was an updraft. We never could have predicted that. We got unlucky and we lost. And I think that was such a subtle and like powerful piece of writing, because I always feel like when you watch someone lose something, there's two ways you can deal with it, and one has been like, if that hadn't have fucking happened, I would have won,
right?
And it's like, right. But it did happen, So I actually came off a huge loss recently, Woolie, in jiu-jitsu, and so I've been thinking about losing a lot.
Interesting. Okay.
There is a rite of passage that all blue belts go through. And that is, at some point, a white belt's going to tap you out.
Okay. Your pride needs to be ready for that.
Yeah. Woolie, I went an entire year. And, like, I was still saying, it'll happen. Like, it happens to everyone. But in my head, I was getting real, like, I think I'm just too fucking good. I just don't think it's going to happen, So then I miss a bit of training, because mainly due to COVID, which was a fiasco that we had last time on this podcast. And so I come back and I get put in with this dude. And the dude is like, he's like very young, very strong. And like he's a white belt, so I'm like, okay, cool, let's just see what this guy can do. Nearly with a smile on my face, because I know how this goes. And this dude is like fucking pushing me like hard, and I'm not used to that with white belts. And then eventually he like gets me in a position and he has me in a collar choke, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm passing out.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so right at the last minute I have to, and I was like, fuck. And Woolie, like, I took a bit of like damage.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I was like, I can't fucking believe this happened, And
I genuinely realize that was you were beginning to pass out. You didn't realize the position you were in until you started actually like fading out.
Yep. Yeah. And I was like, oh damn, like this is like so anyway, like I was talking to my chat about this when I was streaming, and there was a lot of them kind of being like very like, yeah, but you had just recovered from COVID, you had just missed out on training, Mm-hmm. But to me, it's like when I really thought about that fight, I was like, COVID or not, I think that dude just beat me, Mm-hmm. And I started looking at the fight, and I've had a couple more rolls with them since, and turns out dude is just a beast. He's been like a boxer for 4 years, and he's only been training for 7 months. He trains 5 days a week. So this dude is, he's just built a little different.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like I saw a lot of value in just taking the L and just being like, okay, where were the moments that I was overconfident? And I think one of them was like, I think because like I'm reasonably strong, I can muscle my way out of a lot of situations, not with a dude like this. Mm-hmm. And then two, it's kind of like when you're fighting dudes stronger than you, you need to have a more defensive fighting style, because if you try and match them pound for pound, they are just going to steamroll you. So I was like, okay, what are some more submissions we can learn from Full Guard? And I've been kind of working on that since. And now I've got like a really nice little combo chain going that has really kind of opened my game up in different ways. And that is all to say, when you take a loss, I really think like it's so important to look at it and to understand what happens. And seeing this commander's inability to do that was really interesting to me, because Reinhardt is absolutely this dude who will measure it from all angles and will make other people make mistakes. And that's what makes him good at this shit, you know?
Yeah, it's a type. It's almost like a type of fundamental attribution error where you're like, you will look at your own actions in a situation like this and be like, oh yeah, my reasons for failure were just the wind, the circumstances, random luck. You know, there was nothing.
Congratulations, you haven't improved at all.
Right, and you can't see what they saw to make every one of those decisions occur. That you can't see the little things they did to put you in that position to capitalize on that situation as it was occurring and force that loss. You know, it's easy to go like, oh yeah, my opponent was just mashing buttons. You play a fighting game, you know what I mean? And it's like, were they, or were those very precise buttons pressed at very precise times? You know,
or like another way of looking at it is like, cool, what are you going to do next time someone mashes buttons?
Right,
you know.
Right. Yeah, that is a good lesson.
Yeah, dude, it stung. It fucking stung. But you know what I thought of as well? The bit from the first slam dunk. I pray the universe grants me the experience I need.
The experience I need.
And that bit came back to me, and I was like, fuck yeah. You know?
Not the win.
Nope.
The experience. Yep.
Yeah, but like, I think you could fork me out from that win, and in one version I win and one version I lose. I genuinely think I'm a slightly better fighter because I lost. And I like that, you know?
That's good.
And so I think the fact that I'm starting to think about stuff like that, like this show is making me think about stuff like that. Like, spoiler Woolie, I did not hate this show.
Okay.
I did not hate Legend of Galactic Heroes.
Okay.
I definitely had trepidation going in.
Yeah, and I know how it starts too as well. Like it does. You need a second to get to a few things, but at the same time, I'm like, when I hear that orchestra start playing, da 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 da, I'm like, I'm warm. I love the classics. I love I love the feeling of this anime getting started, and I'm like, where's my wine glass? you know?
So over the course of these two movies, I do start to warm to a lot about this show, because like, well, let's say the art direction isn't really just anything that I'm going to get excited about. The actual like visual direction of the show, the camera moves, the kind of way they frame shots and everything is actually really solid. There's a lot of really lovely use of like multi-planning backgrounds, and the backgrounds themselves are just these gorgeous painterly masterpieces. Like, they're so lovely.
And so it turns out that like part of how that was possible at the time is because this didn't have a budget that was limited for television, because it didn't have to air. These were all made straight to VHS and to DVD.
Really?
Yeah,
because it looks solid.
And the release schedule was when they were done. Every time they were done, they would put the next one out. They did not have to hit that release schedule.
Because they don't look flashy, but they're very consistent and they're very well done. So anyway, like, that is who this dude Reinhardt is. He can just see it from all the angles, and he is like a real little son of a gun. He's like this very cat-like Bishi boy, and he's kind of hard not to just root for. Like,
he's got ambitions.
He's got ambitions, but also he turns into an absolute child whenever he's around his sister.
yeah.
And I like that. Like, there's a kind of dimensionality to him, you know. And he has his best friends and or sexual tension machine, Kirakais.
Yeah.
So, like, look, I'm not a partaker in yaoi, but if you are, you're eating good with this show, and I did not expect that.
you know, I mean, stuff's there. We can all interpret what we want.
Yeah, for sure. I'm more just like, I saw this. I was like, oh, I bet there's a lot of yaoi of this, and then I looked. Boy, is there.
Yeah. There. Anyway, I can't. I don't. There, like, there's a one of the biggest pop off moments in the entire show is someone changes their hair and like the intro starts and reveals a hair change and it's like, oh!
Because there's a lot of shots of just like flowing hair. It's cool. Anyway. But it's interesting because like the more you watch, like, and I thought Kirchheis, is that how you say it?
Kirchheis.
That's a tough one. I've listened to him say it so many times, and every time I'm trying to say it and I never get it.
Okay, just call him Siegfried.
Okay, Siegfried.
Siegfried Kirchheis. Yeah.
So you got Siegfried and you got Reinhardt, and it's interesting because like Reinhardt, like he is this very, like he is brutally tactile, and like he really, human life is kind of something he considers like after the fact a little bit. But then you have Siegfried, and Siegfried is basically this dude's like humanity and conscience. Like he's a very good tactician as well, but his philosophy for battles is totally different. But the two of them really respect and care about each other, and he's about the only person that Reinhardt kind of listens to.
So it's interesting because, like, it's like they are these childhood friends, and like they're homies, and you know, and like you see, like, even like you're saying, like potentially even more. But I'm like, to me, I'm like, this is his moral compass extracted and given human form in a different person, almost like Morrigan and Lilith, and you know, in this way, it's like, it's almost like you took a drop of him and put it here, you know.
When I say like potentially more, I more just mean I know the fandoms that are going to pick up on that. For sure. It's not something like that's I super give a shit about, but
that's what he is, you know.
Yeah, like humanity. He is the humanity in this guy, and like it's really well done, and there's just such a like solid consistency to the characters. Like everything they do, this is going to sound so stupid, everything they do feels like something they would do. You know, where it's like the writing, like the people writing this have such a strong internal grounding of what these characters are about, and it's cool. But then you also got Yang.
Yang Wen Li.
Yang Wen Li. And Yang Wen Li is basically the superstar commander on the other side. So Reinhardt is the Imperial and Yang is the Alliance. Yang is basically the rebels in Star Wars. And he is an absolute fucking genius on the level of Reinhardt. But it's like he's lower down the food chain because he's kind of just a regular soldier. And so not only does he have to deal with the tactics of the other side, he has to deal with all his like interfering commanders and not like hurting their pride to try
bureaucracy.
And like it's Reinhardt face. Also has to deal with that as well. But these two early movies, basically they are focusing on the first interactions of these two characters, of Yang and Reinhardt. And when I say interactions, I mean literally their interactions through telling other spaceships to shoot at each other's spaceships.
Yeah.
And there's a moment at the end of the second movie where Reinhardt sends Yang a message, and it's basically like, good battle. I look forward to doing this with you again. But at that point, you're like, oh, like it's like a pop-off moment, you know?
Yeah.
And it's great, dude. It's really, really good. So I finished the movies, and I was like, okay, I think maybe I owe it to Woolie to dip my toe in here and to watch a couple of episodes. Woolie, I watched all 110 episodes. Woolie, no, I watched 15. I watched 15 episodes.
Okay, Jesus Christ, man.
Woolie, I have things to do. I'm sorry.
That's insanity. I would never ask you to. I would never ask you for Tears of Morning Dew in 1 month.
No.
All right.
I'm not saying we're not going to get there, but yeah. Look, and over the course of these 15 episodes, I readjust my early take on Death Note with spaceships, and I don't feel that is an accurate representation of what this show is.
Yes, because what I was hoping for, because I'm like, I know those first two. What they do is they go, here's your players, here's what they're good at and what their traits are, and how they have this little interaction. But then I think those first couple episodes going in just kind of establish a bit more of the world, their role in it, and it has the thing that I love the most is that it has the human moments, right? That these characters have, and like the little bits where Yang is talking about collecting a paycheck in Brandy. You know what I mean? This
is the thing that kills me with Yang. Like Reinhardt, because his sister is this courtesan of the Emperor, Reinhardt basically wants to rise up the military organization till he can take his sister away from this person. There's a line that goes so fucking hard, and I love it so much, where Reinhardt is talking about this person he doesn't like, and he finds out this person died, and he gets upset, and you're like, oh, did he have some affection for this person, like, that we didn't know about? And he goes, why couldn't he have lived 2 more years so I could kill him? It's really like, it's delivered completely straight, but I found it just great. I love that line. But then Yang. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I'll jump in after.
So Yang, like he's not like that at all. Yang is real, like. He just so happens to be an amazing tactician. He hates war. Like, there's moments where he, like, even in victory, you can tell he's so bummed out because of how many people he had to kill. And it's like, fuck, man, this guy rules as well.
When you see that it's like after we're out of the action, and in the action you're like, okay, I guess I'm just resigned. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to make us survive. God damn it, my commander's incompetent. I guess we're just gonna die. You know, I can be a little like cheeky about it, and we can crack jokes and be like, oh boy, you know. But when the action's done and you're kind of putting it together, it's like those numbers don't mean nothing, man. You know, every time they're quoting the casualties and the impacts of what they're doing and how this is like become routine for the news. It's just a number. But this dude legitimately gives a fuck, man. And that's what's driving him to be like the best tactician possible, because he's like, we need to just live and get home. That's it. We can't control the giant dominoes that have knocked this conflict into place, but what we can do is do our best to make sure like we all just get home. And even if we get home upset, you know, and feeling whatever, at least we're getting home.
Yeah. And then, sorry, go on.
No, just an element of him that I think is so important with this. Like he's got quips. He's got like,
he's charming. Like he's fun.
Charming. He's got charisma, right, in a very like low key way. But when you're mentioning like he happens to be this brilliant tactician, it's like he is, but something that's important that they establish here, and then they do remind you throughout the series, is that he's a historian.
Yeah.
He's, when they're not like having fights and casually, you know, like living life, and when battles are not happening, he's watching and studying tapes of history, right? And it's like people are like, oh, you're checking up on this old Earth shit? What's going on over here? And he's just like, oh yeah, you know, I mean, you think there's it's interesting. There's stuff here that, you know, you see today, and it's like he is not doomed to repeat history while everything else is locked in the cycle, you know? It's literally like those who don't learn.
100%. Yeah. And there's a part, So, okay, you have this layer with Yang, right? But then you have another layer on top of that, and that is the people in the governments of the Alliance of the Planets. And these scenes would actually make me fucking angry because it nearly just hits too close, right? Where it's like, so Yang is like, he's doing his best to move the war forward with as few casualties as possible and save as many of his allies as he can. And then you cut to these fucking politicians, and the politicians are trying to, like, they're kind of, every meeting starts out the same. They're like, well, it's only really been 2 scenes, but they're like trying to understand militarily, strategically, what is the best way to move forward with this fight. And then one of them will be like, just so you all know, the re-election is coming up in a couple of months, and I think if we go hard now, it could like, if like the polling numbers are a bit down, and I think a big victory could really,
yep.
And it's like, this victory is meaningless. It will not advance the overall cause. Hundreds of thousands of people will die, and they don't even consider it. And then cut back to Yang trying to do his fucking best,
right?
And like, it's heartbreaking. Like, it's sad.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not even the board meeting. Sometimes it's like, here we are at the state funeral for the millions dead. Any words? Yes, their sacrifices were not in vain. Fight, continue. And
like, the fucked up part is these are the rebels. These are the freedom fighters.
This is the United Alliance, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Without a just a Kaiser on top dictating the way things should be. And it's just this absolute batshit nonsense bureaucratic fucking. It's all of that, And then this dude doing what he can in those circumstances, while reading the history books and taking his philosophy, on his shoulder and carrying it about wherever he can. There's a quote Yang drops, which is like, to get it exactly right. There are a few wars between good and evil. Most are between one good and another good.
God damn. That's solid. Yep.
And like, that's the attitude he has going into a lot of this. And there's so much that he's helpless with, and what little control he has is like, all right, let's start saving lives. You know, that's it. It's something else, man.
It is crazy. But then, like, so the thing about this show is, like, I would say that this show doesn't really have necessarily, like, it's not a show about moments. It's a show about, like, the consecutive, or the compounds result of a lot of different decisions. And I think when you start watching it, you don't really see that. And so it's kind of like, the first couple episodes are very slow. But what I find about this show, and what I kind of think I really respect about it, is like, it's gonna sit you down, it's gonna grab your wrist, and it's gonna be like, watch this. This is important. And you watch it, and you will watch like a political debate between these people. You will watch a strategic meeting, and in the moment, it can nearly be like, okay, what are we doing here? But then eventually, when you see it all come together, it's fucking really crazy and powerful. Because, like, so we talked about, say, on the rebel side, we talked about Yang, we talked about the government above Yang. But then you also have, like, this widow over here whose husband died needlessly in this war. You also have this extremist nationalist group who wear these fucked up masks and beat people to death while humming the national anthem. Mm-hmm. You also have this planet that they invaded that, there's this really great line where, God, it's a hard show to talk about because there's so many layers to it. So that's all happening here on the Alliance side in this part of the story. Then you have what's happening in the Imperial side. You have the different people struggling for the thrones. You have the 3 granddaughters or the 3 grandchildren of the Kaiser all positioning themselves to take over. You have all this shit. And it's like, what you are watching is like the intersection between them, and it gets amazing. Like this, like in one of the major battles that I just finished, the whole idea was that the Imperial were going to be like, okay, we understand what the Alliance are. The Alliance want to come in and they want to be everybody's hero. So what we're going to do is we're going to let them push way deep into our airspace and liberate a bunch of planets. And we're going to take all the food from those planets. And so then the Imperial, the Alliance go into those planets and they can't resist being the heroes. They give food out left, right, and everything. And there's this amazing moment where they, touch down and they're like, we're here to bring you freedom and liberty. And the starving people are like, do you have food?
Yes.
And so then they hand out all the food. And this is, you're only seeing it happen on one planet, but I think the idea is it's happening on like dozens or hundreds of planets. I don't know. And what happens is that the Alliance's supply chain gets stretched so thin and food starts running out that the soldiers start turning on the people they're saving, bringing them back, like pushing the people back to the Alliance. But at that point, the Imperials, like their supply chains are so fucked that the Imperial just crush them. And it's like this really devastating loss. And you've been watching like 5 episodes. You heard someone, you heard Reinhardt propose this plan. And you heard him propose this plan. And then you saw Hirokais leave the room with just a look of disappointment. And it's like, it's all moving. And so when I say that this is Death Note spaceships, that's not what this is. You're not even watching a battle between 2 armies. You are watching a giant war between 2 civilizations, and every rung down the ladder you are getting a little look into that. You're seeing how it's affecting the farmer in the field. You're seeing how it's affecting the literal god king of the world. And that's, I think, why this show's appeal is kind of hard to convey, because it's so immense. Like, this is like the only kind of thing I can compare it to is like Game of Thrones, but even like scale wise, it's so much bigger than Game of Thrones. You know,
and
like,
we're not even getting into like Fezan with the neutral side planets and the
I have barely come across
territories.
them.
You know,
Yep.
But you hit it on the nail on the head there, and what you see are these characters that then like it evolves to these big, large-scale moves that are, again, these civilizations clashing. There's these cultures, right? And if I may, this is a very long series, and it takes a while to get where it's going, so it's a journey, right? But what you see in those moments of going from these characters upwards to these large plays continues, as you can imagine. And, like, I don't feel that it's a spoiler to say this, but it is just to describe what this actually is and where you're going. It's more than just these cultures clashing. This entire thing is a giant, long discussion between 2 philosophies. And it is insanely nuanced at presenting each side and each take of what is effectively corrupt democracy versus benevolent autocracy.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
These 2 concepts, one objectively removes freedom but increases people's quality of life fast, and the other makes life worse for way more people but still maintains principles of their control over it. How do you fight for these things as the bodies are hitting the floor and as they clash and come to a head, right? And it's the most elaborate discussion about these 2 schools of thought, and if you're going to stand by the one that your principles are on, let's take you through every example of how and why this should be challenged to make sure you believe in that. It takes a long time, but this is what you're watching kind of unfold. And these two characters represent these philosophies clashing.
But already, like, the like heat between these two characters it's all like, and they've barely communicated at all. Like, so in this last battle I watched, basically Reinhardt just had this overwhelming victory, just a crushing defeat. But then at the last minute, Yang pulled out some kind of fancy strategy, and he basically saved a lot of people, like a lot of his side. Mm-hmm. And Reinhardt is like seething over this. Like, he's so fucking angry that someone managed to not beat him, but just take the splendor out of his victory. And it's like, oh man, I need to see where this goes.
It's very interesting. Yeah. And then at the same time, you've got these side players and supporting characters that we haven't been talking about that are very interesting, and you know, like Julian is hanging around, you know, learning from Yang, and you know,
we've got that dude with the fake eyes.
You've got Oberstein, right?
Oberstein. So at one point, Oberstein basically takes Reinhardt aside, and he's like, "You want to kill the fucking Emperor, right? Like, I want to, I want to kill the Emperor. Do you want to kill the Emperor?
Are we doing this? Bro,
we're doing it. Yeah.
It's like, hey, shut the fuck up! How dare you? That's insane.
Meet me out back.
Yeah. No, exactly, you know, and you have all that, and the Rosenritters, you know what I mean, the tough guys on, there's a whole lot to the angles that they come at these ideas from, you know, and I'm glad that curiosity is piqued and such, because it really does have, then, you know, you're gonna have these moments of like, it's Elle and Kira having their little Death Note, you know, battles and stuff. There's a little bit of that in there for sure. It's exciting. It's fun and it's exciting to watch that. But then
I'd say like that was the first hook that like caught my attention, and then the more I started learning about their philosophies and just everything, and it just started feeling so much broader and just so much bigger than that.
And it is just this long-winded discussion between two characters in a room, you know, and it really, like I said, I feel like it, for me, it's my favorite, but it just, what it does and where it goes and how it brings those discussions up, I think, are like just phenomenal. And if at all this kind of idea is interesting to you, you know, I would say, if you think that like these topics are interesting, because, you know, while I did say like Space Alliance and Space Axis, you know, and you do have your you know, your Emperor is clearly your Emperor and your rebels are your rebels, but really there's just so much bullshit in like the way a united alliance force kind of, you know, is carrying itself. And Gundam stories will sometimes, you know, we'll touch on that as well, where they take turns being villains, you know, like the space civilization is a villain in this series, but then here it's the you know, the Earth and such. So
yeah, because I know at right now, like the Imperial side is like rocking the other side's shit like constantly, and I know at some point that's gonna flip.
So, you know, there's a lot to it. And then there's, again, other factors, and again, your Switzerland kind of planet, which is Fezzan in the middle and stuff. But but all these, like, again, all these politics and meetings and stuff and things that are happening, it's like, I definitely can know as well that if someone is like, it's the dialogue that's the star of it. It's the conversations and the characters and the things they're up to and what that establishes. And even when the action is happening, sometimes it's action, but very rarely is it that. Most of the time, it's their thoughts, you know, manifesting on the battlefield. And this is a novel series that was written as a novel with these characters' internal monologues carrying the story forward, you know, and that's why, as a result, even when it gets adapted and animated, a narrator is bringing you through all this, because this is the material it's coming from. It's not coming from a manga, you know?
Yeah. There was one moment that I really loved where I'm going to intentionally get some stuff wrong here just because I don't want to spoil people, but we'll say that Reinhardt is watching a little prince, and he wants to be where this little prince is. Like, that's his goal. And and it's literally a kid. It's literally a small child, and someone puts the crown on him, and the crown's too big for him, and it's like, oh, that's kind of nice. But next thing, he kind of tilts his head, and the crown falls off and just hits the ground. And the second it hits the ground, close up of Reinhardt's eyes just going, and it's like, oh,
You love a little ambitious boy.
Hey, I can't help it. I like those Nobunaga types. Know what I'm saying?
I like him. I like him too. Mm-hmm.
Woolie, this was a fantastic pick.
Cool. Awesome.
Unless you have any closing thoughts, I think it might be time to rank it.
Okay, yeah. Nothing that doesn't just, I guess, go further beyond the where you're. This
will not be the last time we talk about. We'll have some Galactic Battler updates.
Oh, God. Well, yes. My only thought is, again, just if anyone is interested in checking this out, for a while I wasn't too sure what the best way, and there's been how to watch it guides and stuff, but I think looking recently, archive.org, the whole series there, you can just watch them right at their upload.
Yeah, and I would also say, the way Woolie introduced it to me through the two movies, I think is a pretty fine way to get you can't get a snapshot of what this series is. It is one of those things where you just kind of have to luxuriate in it for a while before it really starts to be what it is. It is absolutely worth it. I cannot wait to watch more and just really see where this is going. It could take me a long time to finish it, but I'm on this journey now.
Cool. Absolutely. Hell yeah.
So, is Omicron better than Legend of the Galactic Heroes?
Perhaps slightly.
Okay. Is Legend of the Galactic Heroes better than missing a fighting game tournament? I mean, I think it is.
I certainly say so.
Is it better than the Canadian TV show Cyber 6? Man, it makes me kind of sad to see Cyber 6 at 9. There is such a wide space between missing a fighting game tournament and Cyber 6.
There is, but I think it's just because we came out with heavy hitters.
Yeah, I think that's what this podcast needs. We need to start getting real mediocre.
We got to find space between Cyber 6 and missing a tournament.
Yep. I think Legend of the Galactic Heroes is better than Police Knots. I'm going to say Legend of the Galactic Heroes is better than Dokapon Kingdom.
Good. I think so too.
I'm going to say Legend of the Galactic Heroes is better than Fear and Hunger.
I agree. I'm glad we're on the same page.
I'm going to say that I think if you combined our shared affections for Legend of the Galactic Heroes versus Hunter x Hunter, I think Legend of the Galactic Heroes comes out on top. Meaning, Legend of the Galactic Heroes has entered our top 5. How you feeling?
Wow. It hit like that. Okay.
So, what I will stress here is I am taking your love for the show into account. I'm not going to say I like it better than Hunter x Hunter. I don't. But there's two things. One, I am aware how much you love this. But two, this is a spaceship anime that made me give a shit.
That takes a lot.
So you got to give it some points for that.
That takes a lot.
And this isn't the John list. This is the Versus Wolves list, right?
Okay.
Is Legend of the Galactic Heroes better than Vinland Saga Season 1?
Well, I mean, I guess we're now on the first 15 episodes, right?
Yeah.
This is the vibe. It's interesting because there is a season 1 that's about 10 episodes beyond that, like a 26 or so, you know?
I actually really wanted to make it to that point, but life, like you know yourself, life happens.
Very understandable, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, hey, you know, you tell me, like, what's your feeling?
So I have this weird feeling with Legend of the Galactic Heroes where, like, I genuinely kind of feel sort of in awe at the scope of it. Like, I've just never experienced anything like this. Like, ever. And I love Vinland Saga, and I would say there's a part of me that enjoys Vinland Saga more than what I've watched Legend of the Galactic Heroes. But in a way, they also both have similar messages in parts, and I nearly feel like Legend of the Galactic Heroes is... It's kind of bolder in some ways. Like,
Okay.
There's no cool shit in Legend of the Galactic Heroes, you know? But it's like the show isn't... It's not trying to be that. It's trying to be this complete singular thing. And I think that's really special.
Okay. I think so as well. I do think that, like, I was surprised watching it that, like, I guess I'm like at the there's the lack of cool shit, so to speak, you know, and like I was and coming out of it and being like, wow, I'm really thinking about that interaction and the way this whole sequence of events played out, and then the effects and the ramifications of it, and like how things that start here where they can go as well, you know. Interesting. Okay,
maybe here's how I'd put it. There is other media that I know that is like Vinland Saga. This whole conversation, I have been struggling to come up with shit that's like Legend of the Galactic Heroes. And I think that's just because there is none. Like, I don't know how you make this again.
There are a lot of space operas and mecha shows and things that are like similar in that there's, like, you know, again, the conflict between colony space humanity versus Earth and, you know, the alliance, and there's a lot of, again, similar factions and faces.
Yeah, and, like, you know, like I've watched Dune, I've read like the Ender's Game books and stuff like that. It's just there's just a scope to this one that really, honestly, I'm kind of blown away a little bit, and I did not expect to be here. You know?
Okay. I'm glad. Yeah, but that's what it is. It's like it's looking at different things with similar pieces of sorts. Okay, so we're now at we're above Vinland Saga.
Is Legend of the Galactic Heroes going to step into the hallowed grounds of our top 3?
I would say, I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I mean, for me, I think, based on it being the beginning of this show, I feel like the personal growth you get from starting Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu perhaps has a more immediate impact and clear. It has a much faster effect on you than the beginning of this show does, I would say. So it might change with more episodes, but I could see this sitting right underneath that experience. I could see it.
Interesting. It's interesting to hear you argue for that, because I would nearly be coming at this from this saying that if we're talking doing jiu-jitsu for 5 years, it's like at the top of this list. If we're talking starting jiu-jitsu, But I don't know. That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I didn't know you felt that strongly about those first couple of classes.
I thought it was. I mean, it really did like put into effect what you have been describing and such. But it also is like, this is just. But yeah, I feel strongly about it because like whatever. Again, coming into that type of environment with that, whatever you're going through in your brain, it just clears that right out. It's medicine. You know what I mean?
It is medicine.
It is medicine.
Painful medicine.
But you know, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna fight against a trajectory here. But I am gonna say that, like, I think in the same way that Vinland Saga is being ranked on its season, this is being ranked on its initial. You know.
So, if I were to keep going with Galactic Battlers, is there a point where we reassess?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I think that's what this is then. I think Galactic Battlers, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, is our new number 4.
There is a moment, and it's a very, very good one, and I think crossing that threshold changes the experience.
Okay. I think if you had been gung-ho on pushing this past Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I probably would have gone for it.
Okay. I'm not fighting. I'm gonna be what I think is honest about about this. But yeah, I'm really, really happy that you had this vibe and this feel from it, and that you were able to get that from it, because it's like I said, it's space, you know, it's people talking in rooms, but
I mean, for a show that is a lot about men standing very straight and talking, it's kind of about everything, and that's insane.
It's very ambitious, and it manages to pull it off. Cool. Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah. Congratulations to Legend of the Galactic Heroes, our new number 4 in the Pantheon of Greatness.
You know, it's funny because I'm looking at Kill 6 Billion Demons, but I'm like, yeah. We'll put this here. We'll put this here.
I think I feel like I nearly, with Kill 6 Billion Demons, I feel like the amount we read of that, I have a much stronger feel for what that is. And in a way, with Legend of Galactic Heroes, I feel like I'm still in the tutorial, but right. I love that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I like, so, to be continued.
Okay. I'm more than happy with that. Awesome. Yep. The sky seems so blue. They lead me to you. Somewhere there's a dream in my heart. In the skies of love. No? We don't feel...
What,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You know.
I thought we were going to talk about something different there, so my defenses are up. William,
no.
Do you find that this podcast has such an aura when we're recording it that any hint of ambiguity immediately turns into...
Oh, no. I don't want you to misplace your emotions or anything or get too guarded or all. I just, I wanted to, like, remind everyone of the spirit of the recommendation that we just finished.
Yeah, you know, it was a beautiful recommendation.
We took a little bathroom break, and then we kind of cooled down a little bit. So yeah. I just wanted to sing the theme of the spirit of the recommendation that we just
completed. Because we always recommend each other things we love, like, you know, Earthbound or, you know, Berserk,
the Skies of Love.
The Skies of Love. You know what, that theme song, that could be the gosh darn theme songs of this podcast.
Tell you what, get me my white cape, and you dye your hair red,
No problem. Yes, sir.
So yeah, that was the spirit of the last recommendations. So what's next on the docket?
I knew it. I knew what you were doing. I knew it. I believe the next recommendation was Silent Hill Ascension, and I think it's only normal to start our recommendations by recalling why they were recommended.
Do we? Do we usually? Is that how that goes?
I think maybe it's
cut to flashbacks.
How it could go from now on, and just if you'll remember, Woolie, I felt that perhaps some of your recommendations were a little bit on the mean-spirited side, and out of the goodness of my heart, I felt like the only way to kind of course correct the podcast so it didn't just become a story of two people trying to destroy each other was to just little bop on the nose for you, and
it's not like I saw that coming and positioned myself to bob and weave away from that bob on the nose, so to speak. And
Woolie, I agree. It's literally not like you did that.
All right. So
I guess first of all,
from the skies of love, we go to the new Silent Hill phone experience brought to you by Genvid, in which you don't get to play, but you certainly can watch, but perhaps make choices depending on if you played it live. This Silent Hill experience.
Yeah, it's a flagship new entry in one of my favorite video game series of all time, and I really wanted to share. I really wanted to pick a Silent Hill thing, but you've already played 1, you've already played 2, you've already played 3. What do I do? Oh, you know what? I'll give them the new one because it's relevant and it's hot and people are talking about it, and I just want to talk to Woolie about Silent Hill.
And
that was my logic.
Any I'm almost mad that I had to rewatch the first episode. Just okay. All right. So, folks, Silent Hill Ascension is essentially part of Konami's new return to video games, because it seems like they remembered they existed this year, and they decided to pull the chains up from the pachinko dungeons to see who was still attached. And there were a lot of skeletons, but they did find a couple people hanging from...
We're never getting a new Goemon game.
Well, hey...
I think we actually might be. Scratch that.
You might be getting Legend of the Mystical Ninja Delta. Who knows?
Yep.
Or Ypsilon, whatever. Pick a Greek letter. But yeah, they seem to have recalled that they owned IPs for video games that were beloved. So a part of returning to Metal Gear and Silent Hill and such has been the remake of Silent Hill 2, which looks like a thing that is occurring. And
that fucking Maria redesign. I'm sorry, I don't mean to immediately segue this whole thing, but Maria's
what do you mean they missed the entire point?
yeah, you know what? It was stupid and tacky, and that's what it's meant to be.
Hey man, Pyramid Head for everybody. We can all share him. He's your trauma, he's our trauma.
Yep.
Together.
Yep. Totally.
The one look. David Hayter gets to put a smile on his face because he gets to be involved with Delta. So, God bless. He got done dirtier
and
than
Woolie, Yeah, our close personal friend David Hayter,
Friend of the show.
friend of the show David Hayter. Well, you remember that bit? Conbrav? What?
Too many games.
Too many games, and it's a bunch of people hanging out with David Hayter, and he's like, I think I'm gonna pack it in for the night. And then he kind of walks, and everyone's like, bye, and we're like, okay. And then, like, right at the last second, he kind of looks at us, and he's like, come on. And we go, yeah! What just a shockingly cool man.
Yeah. So I'm happy when he's happy.
Same. All I want is a win for David.
I do. But that's over there, and this is over here. And this is, there's also the Silent Hill. There's the mini game they released about Sudoku. I forget the name of that one, but anyway. And then there's this experimental one, which is Silent Hill Ascension.
A brave new frontier in the video game format.
Indeed, brought to us by Genvid. And it's interesting because when you look up Genvid, it seems like so their CEO had a big thread recently talking about the state of AAA games in the industry and games as a service and how that's all changed ever since live service games like Fortnite and Call of Duty and such have taken over. And it's an interesting thread, essentially talking about how it's fucked because you can't really have a game that's cool, successful, makes money, people love it, and it does well for its target audience anymore. That doesn't matter. A game has to beat the stock market. But anyways, with that was also a big history of this company looking into a lot of like AI-based, generative-based stuff, and it seems as if like they had a big chunk of their time dedicated towards researching potential applications of AI in video games. However, they claim that none was used for this.
I have some thoughts on this.
I do too.
Okay.
And it's interesting that that's the claim because then you're telling me human beings are responsible?
Woolie, can I tell you my reason for believing that they did not use generative AI in this?
You may have this dance. Cut in.
Okay, so it's like this. I was curious to see. Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
Damn.
I was curious. I was curious to see like how much this played out. So I spent an evening. I sat in front of ChatGPT, and I told it to write me a Silent Hill game.
Interesting. You did. Okay. Did you do this as part of the stream when you were going into it?
Yeah, I didn't do it on stream, but I read my results out.
Interesting.
And I would say what ChatGPT wrote me was some mid-tier Silent Hill fan fiction. And I could occasionally adjust it. Like I got it to add like a stalker character. And it basically came up with this sort of digital virtual reality Silent Hill. And it was fine. It was fine. It was grand.
Imagining the best versions of all assets and application of the ideas in your head as you read it, right?
Yeah. And I asked it to add like a twist at the end, and I added a twist at the end, and it was competent, if not interesting. As in, just to be clear, it wasn't interesting. It was competent.
Okay.
Now, I have many things to say about Silent Hill Ascension. It is not competent on any level. So I feel like maybe AI, like generative AI, was used in the early portions of its story. It does not defend the many disastrous decisions in this thing. And look, so, I just want to put up for Frontier real quick. I do not want to like dogpile this game. This was a game made by people, and some really fucking talented people, no doubt, worked long hours and worked very, very hard on this. I will say some of the modeling and some of the cinematography in this game is gorgeous. It's really, really good. Like, it's genuinely nice. The game is like a train wreck.
You didn't recommend this game to me so that we could spend the next hour dogpiling it? Really? That's not why I had to sit through this shit, John. Really?
Okay. No, Woolie,
you about to play this?
That is what's about to happen. I don't want any of the, and I know the vast majority of them don't need to hear this. I don't want any of the fine folk in the Versus Wolves audience going out and dogpiling developers. Video game developers have it hard. You know.
But I can say this as someone who's built a career on horrendous game experiences as well as incredible ones. We can just look at a piece of shit and go, damn, wow, what the fuck happened here?
We absolutely can.
And leave it at that.
It's just, no one needs to be made miserable over this. Don't be weird. This is my commandment to everyone who watches this show. Just don't be weird. Don't be weird.
No, and I agree with that. Now, is there a chance that David Cage knows what my face looks like? Yeah, probably. There's a possibility.
Oh no, fuck David Cage. No, that's different.
There's a possibility that might be the case. But yes, I agree with the general sentiments. And the thing is, too, is, you know what? I'm sure some very nice folks also worked on like Metal Gear Survive and did what they needed to do to avoid the pachinko mines. You know, it's just what it is. Now, people make reference to that a lot of the time, and you might be coming a little late to the party wondering what that is. And it's quite simple, really. Konami, the company that owns, the rights to Castlevania, Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid, all the faves and such, also makes a ton of money on pachinko, the Japanese slot machine game equivalent. And they basically take people, since getting fired in Japan is a very rare thing, and there's a lot of job security and protection. You can't really just mass lay off people unless you prove it is like your company's going under otherwise and such. They basically take people from projects, and anytime anyone does anything that they don't like, and they shove them on the pachinko development team in wherever that cave is somewhere, and you're just never seen or heard from again, And then we saw, of course, IPs like Silent Hill getting to legendary hit the lever status.
I really want to play that
games.
erotic action Castlevania pachinko machine.
Oh boy. And I'll tell you, as someone who made the Guilty Gear lore series, and the Guilty Gear pachinko machine is lore significant and very important to the story.
Wow.
I have been through the gate and seen the other side. It's dark. It is actually, it's the opposite of that. It's bright. It's too bright. It hurts the eyes and ears and the sounds. So Silent Hill here now is, I guess, I feel almost as if it's like, what if we made like a TV show, but you could kind of control elements of it? And
it's weird because it's a really like turn of the millennium concept.
Yeah, like almost like was it Resident Evil Outbreak, right? Where you're like trying to escape Raccoon City as a group, but less control than that, because that was still a video game of sorts. And here it's like, what if you took a Telltale game but removed all elements of control and just made it be dialogue selection? And even at that, my guess, I'm not 100% certain, is it's dialogue selection for unimportant background characters, not the actual principal characters, and people vote on the events?
You vote on the principal characters.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, and it's a lot of like, this person reacts reasonably, this person reacts unreasonably, blah, blah, blah.
And so everyone spends their points, or you can purchase extra influence, right? Because it's not a democracy. Some votes can be worth more than others if you paid for them.
And apparently, for a while during the storyline, there was people controlling the votes with money, picking the most boring choices possible.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel as if like it's an interesting like the premise of that on its own, where people are kind of like affecting what they're looking at or whatever, is not completely busted, because people do that with Twitch games where they're like, hey, I'm going to be doing this, but maybe the chat can affect these other things, and people vote in to make things happen or such. Giving the ultimate benefit of the doubt, maybe if, we were learning about a James Sunderland, and maybe if we were hearing a letter being read out, like there would be somewhere to feel
I don't know. I think this concept is just broken from the beginning.
Entirely.
Because I feel like I hear the comparison with the Twitch, but I feel like you're missing a fundamental component there. Because with the Twitch, you have game, streamer, audience. Mm-hmm. And when the audience gets to do shit, it's going through the streamer, and it's more about nearly the audience and the streamer.
Yes.
And with this, the streamer isn't there, so it's just audience watching a game.
So the end of the thought is that this type of feature, this type of design, like, exists as a bonus that you can turn on in a game that you're streaming to people, and that's usually the best place for it, right? Especially if you want to add some like dynamic variety to Disco Elysium, Okay, what do people think you should say? Well, I know what I want to say. What does the audience think? Okay, and now they're going to vote and roll and lockout thing. Like that's how that goes. But for the most part, here you just have a bunch of pre-rendered outcomes, and then asking people to pay money to get one of them or such is what you're trying to do. But where I'm going is that, how does this actually work when everyone sucks and everyone is designed to suck and the entire fucking roster is detestable? It's kind of incredible how, like, character after character can be completely uninteresting or just completely unlikable by design. And
I quite liked Krista, but purely for what a fucking asshole she was.
Yeah, and then and she gets her line where she says, "I'm a bitch, not a monster," and is like, "Oh, she's self-aware." Mm-hmm. Okay, so but what we start with is so there's the Johannesson family, right? There's Carl and Mette, the mother and father, and then there's Ingrid, the daughter, and her son Oscar. As well as like the second daughter, and there's this main family unit, and they live in this town, and people don't like them very much, and they've got a history of inflicting bad things on the town, and in some cases being mean, and for whatever reason they're
I'm sorry, Woolie. If I could ask a question, what's the name of the town?
Is it Silent Hill even?
No, it's not, Woolie.
Okay. It
translates into basically Quiet Valley.
Okay.
But not Silent Hill. It does not translate into Silent Hill. That's okay. I'm sure there's actually 2 locations this game takes place in. I'm sure the other one is called Silent Hill. We'll get to that later.
Okay. But it's okay. It takes place in Norway. But what's the actual locations, the city's name? Anyway, whatever. That's the deal. And so you have that as like your first party of people, and then there is the Foundation, and the Foundation is basically, it's essentially your Silent Hill cult, but it's this time we're populated with like all the modern townspeople, and
so this town is Silent Hill then.
Okay. Is it?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, surely by the end of the game, the town of Silent. Okay, of course. Anyway, we'll get there.
So the Foundation exists, and it echoes and parallels a lot of the cult from the Silent Hill 1 and 2 and 3 and such. And but like unlike in those cases where it's like the cult behind the scenes and you're just getting the cryptic lines about gyromancy and such. In this case, you get to watch it from the inside. And basically almost everyone in the town who is not a member of this family is part of this cult. There's a whole lot of people. You meet Rachel and Eric, aka Rachel and Pete Davidson.
Eric is the most boring fucking bastard in this scene. He just imagine like a wet stocking just flopping its way from one scene to the next, and everyone's getting angry at him, and he's like, "Oh," and like that's him.
So I mean, like, it feels as if, again, everyone needs to be upsetting to the viewer in some way, and in some cases they need to just be like mean and shitty, scathing people at all times, because that's what they are. And then in other cases they need to be like just dismissive and confused, because at any given point you can't trust what you're seeing or what's going on, but still just cold and shitty, and everyone's got stuff that you eventually learn about. But you've got these characters like Eric or Carl, the father, who are kind of just getting strung along for the ride and don't really have any agency. And when they try to assert some, like, either someone else comes in, perhaps the viewer comes in to take it away from them, or and this is something about the game, it's like, or like the world will just drop them into the Silent Hill zone, into the fucking the hell space.
So
right?
A lot of the times when that happens, what's actually happening is we are missing a mini game that plays on the stream.
Okay.
Now, apparently, it didn't really make things any better. But
I mean, the effect you have watching it after the fact is that whenever characters, like, they get into fights or arguments and stuff, and then either when two people are taking an opportunity to, like, when two people are trying to talk to resolve an issue, or if there's just nothing going on and it's been 10 minutes, we just get ripped into Silent Hill world.
And that is constant. Like, this series is fucking molasses. It's like none of the characters have any agency. Barely, like, episode to episode, barely anything fucking happens. Like, the cliffhanger to so many episodes is this person got summoned to the Withering.
Sure.
And then they spend 2 shots in the Withering, and then they're out of the Withering.
The Withering? Here?
A Withering? Here? Impossible.
Here. Okay. The Foundation is your cult, but you get to watch them as the modern day cult with Xavier at the lead, and he's kind of your Morgan Freeman type that's going to be like, now we have to have faith and we got to do it. You've got Krista, who's just a shitty, jealous girl that's just like, man, I want Eric and I'm mad that he's already taken. And Rachel, who is a huge focal point of a main character, is just this awful mother who's just horrible and mean and shitty to her partner, to Pete Davidson, Eric. And every time he goes, I have a thought, she goes, you shut the fuck up. You speak when you're spoken to.
Join my fucking cult.
And it's like, why are we doing this? Because the cult says so and we need to have faith, god damn it. Right?
Cut out your eye.
And just full on faith posting. And and then of course you've got the child, right? And so she's a mother, she has her child as well. There's and then to mirror back on the family, the daughter of Carl is Ingrid, and she's also like, yo, I hate you, dad, I hate you, mom, you guys are the worst. And to be fair, the mom is a real garbage human being who pretty much dies right away, and all this unresolved trauma is left inside of Ingrid, who is just become a very cold, callous person as a result. But she has her kid Oscar she's concerned about, and in both cases, these children exist entirely to just run around in circles, say stupid things, and then occasionally disappear and make everybody go, "Where are they?" and start running around in circles.
Don't worry, later
for episodes at a time.
Don't worry, Woolie. Later on in the series, they start stabbing people.
Oh, that's great. That's really cool.
It's fucking rad. It's so cool.
Because like literally the only point these children have, like they're not even really people. They just they say like what sound like AI generated lines. You know, did I scare you, mommy? Hee hee hee. No, I want ice cream now, etc. And like the Oscar, the little boy is like, he seems like he's like 6 or something. You know, but Faith, the daughter, she seems like she's like 11 or 12, but she's talking like a toddler. It's super weird, right? Her and then like her behavior, it's like this is just meant to be a innocent victim that can disappear and be held hostage and make the parents freak out at some point.
But
it doesn't even matter what her age is.
What happens, Faith?
Faith disappears.
Okay, so would you say her mom loses
her face?
Writing, that's fucking writing right there. You see what they did with the two? Yeah, it's good. It worked because it's true, but also metaphorically,
bro.
Yeah,
my
see, the
brain
game has
is
layers.
withering.
Yep.
And so, you know, with this hated family, with this foundation, and like a bunch of millennials and the millennials and Zoomers populating the cult, where they're just, you know, like, hey, you should check out our foundation Twitter account. You know, you've also got Joy and Toby, who are just these townspeople. Joy is a member of the foundation, and the intro to the series is her basically in a ritual. They're doing a blood ritual. It goes wrong, and she gets killed by a monster. And
that opening
Rachel,
sequence of her getting killed by the monster is actually like quite well done and horrifying.
It's pretty brutal. And then Rachel, who's there for it, who might be the reason it went wrong, whatever, like just kind of sandbags it for the rest of the story, it seems. And
yes,
anytime anyone kind of just gets offed, she's like, yeah, well, it had to be this way, so whatever. You know, like. And Toby, the sacrificee's brother, is obviously upset by this, but he's also drunk and tormented, and he did something bad that led to a lot of people dying at the factory up there. So, you know, he hates the town, and the town hates him, and then he lost his sister, so he's like, fuck this foundation. And then...
I don't know, did you get to that scene where like everyone's just standing around talking normally, and then Toby kicks open the door and hurls a Molotov cocktail into the middle of the room?
Well, so they're not standing normally. They're in the foundation doing their ritual shit.
Okay,
right?
Yep.
So he's like, yeah! You know?
Time to make things worse!
Yes, and he tosses a Molotov in, to which they go, damn it, that Toby. Whoa, that asshole. So we should go recruit him and make him join us. That's the way we should do this. The events make the least possible sense in the sequence they happen until you realize that, so it's like, you know the movie Cloud Atlas?
Mm-hmm.
Cloud Atlas, by the Wachowski sisters, is a movie that something interesting about it is that, it's directed, it tells the story of multiple characters across multiple timelines and eras, but what connects the scenes as they transition to each other is the emotions that a character is feeling. So it'll cut from one person to another when they're feeling the same emotion, right? This feels like that, except for tension that goes nowhere, because literally every single scene of Silent Hill Ascension is whatever the dialogue is, whatever it is, then the music starts playing, and we do the things that like Baby's first scary movie editing job does, and they drop in a build-up, and then the camera starts getting a little jumpy, and then we're just gonna make it seem like something scary, like a jump cut is about to happen or something, and then nothing really happens. And then they seem to think that what Silent Hill is just a series of random, high-tension, fear-building jump cuts and moments that mean nothing, one after the other.
By the end of this game, the appearance of any kind of monster feels so meaningless, because it's like every scene ends with a monster showing up and nothing fucking happens.
So the first one is the one where the girl dies, and that is the only scene with a monster in it of consequence that has occurred in all that I've watched. So you said to watch past what I saw up to the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
I watched up to the ritual.
Okay, and I was hoping that, kind of like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, that curiosity would then...
Well, the curiosity, you know what? It did. It led me past the ritual episode another 10 minutes.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Woolie, we were about to have a fucking intervention. I was about to start being like, buddy... Why do you keep doing this?
I went 10 minutes into the episode after that, and I was summarily satisfied calling it there. It really is just, again, like, amateurish is one thing, but it's not, because it's like I'm remembering whenever I'm watching and seeing these scenes that go nowhere and these tension moments and dialogue that go nowhere, that it's like, oh, also this is because people are picking things, and whenever someone random walks up and goes, hey, what are you doing? What's going on over here? And it's like, oh, I was picking some berries. I make jams. I could bring you some. My jams are very tasty. And then
it's like I'm playing a game.
And then wanders back into the mist, you know, and then the fog, and like, oh, and then maybe, you know, whatever, we shoot some monsters later. Oh, but was it people? Was it those people? Was it Foundation? Whatever. Like, it's just, there's all these scenes where when they don't have, which they never have anything to really build up amongst the people, like two main characters argue, and then we may or may not slip into Silent Hill world where it's Violent Bill.
Oh, so the Withering is Silent Hill. but they never say that, do they? Okay, so the first
Quiet
town
Mountain
is in Silent Hill, the second town is in Silent Hill, and the spooky place isn't Silent Hill either.
Shut the fuck up. We got no time. Scary monsters with no arms.
Okay, cool. We'll come back to the Silent Hill. We'll come back to the Silent Hill thing. I'm sure it's got to be in there somewhere, right?
And then they see shaky, scary monsters or something with wings, something that might even be a boss fight, you know, in one of the games or so. And then they either run from it or it grabs one of them, and then it fades away to what looks like someone getting killed. But then we cut back, and then every single time nothing happened. You know, we're just back where we were. It's almost as if it just, we just jumped back into time, really. I mean, or back to reality, whatever.
If you're not getting a good sense of like the plot from us talking, there just is none.
It's
like
just
shit just happens and stops happening and starts happening again, and like there's no flow, there's no momentum, there's no real sense that the characters are like building on previous events or learning things, or that you're learning anything about them. Like, I don't know how to describe anyone in this game aside from their like very specific place in the story. Xavier is the head of the cult. Astrid is the daughter of the family. Like, I can't tell you about their personal interests, their perspective on life. It's the opposite of Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
It really is. And like, you have this problem combined with the fact that they're attempting to do the classic Silent Hill awkward line delivery, you know? Like, a staple of the franchise, I feel, at this point, that from what I've seen, has been that, like, there's a bit of a weird uncomfortableness to how people talk and interact with each other. And some of that is based on the voice director at the time being not a native English speaker, but still directing English speakers to speak in a certain way, syllable by syllable. And as a result, things that don't feel natural now are the defining traits, you know? And
I'm not going to say that was like a Galaxy Brain intentional thing. I do love it.
But it is what it is, right?
It is what it is, and I think it has value. I think it adds a lot.
Yeah. It's a part of, you know, in the same way that, like, you know, we talk about like, I'm going to get the quote wrong, but the limitations of a given medium become the defining traits of it in the future. So, you know, the scratching of a record, the cassette tape clicking.
Yeah, I know I talked about that quote in the fake video games video. I know the exact one.
Right? Yeah. And the tracking on a VHS tape. Well,
yeah.
Guess what? Silent Hill has this weird, stilted dialogue that the characters have, and it adds to the feeling of like, what the fuck? Like, everything is just off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which is good for a game that you're supposed to feel off with. Which also creates such an incredible, if not unintentional, contrast with the letter in Silent Hill 2, because that is the most real human shit you've heard, and it cuts through all the other dialogue in the entire game.
Completely devastating. Just completely
soul damage to you.
Yeah, fucking amazing. I can barely listen to that with it. Like, I have cried at that letter multiple times. I would probably cry if we listened to it right now. There's an idea for a Patreon reward tier.
I mean, I'll say as much. Having played the game recently, after all this buildup and stuff, that I felt that shit, and I'm like, oh, I get this. I get it. If I was a kid and I played this game, this would change my trajectory, and I'd spend a lot of my childhood looking for other games like this. And then
like Woolie, I didn't used to be sad all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So here it feels as if they're trying to, like, with that you have the weird, awkward, stilted dialogue. You know, I mean, not everybody. You know, the main family, they have their accents, but even though, like, all the characters are just doing this, they're trying to do the Silent Hill thing, but it's just bad, and like people are often talking about nothing, and they have these moments of like, it's like, okay, we're talking. Then I look at my daughter, Faith, where'd Faith go? She's not here. She was just here. Oh my god, please tell me she's okay.
Those children go missing and come back so many times.
It's crazy. And then it's just like, I'll pick up the phone, and then husband, and it's just like, what happened? What did you do? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Our daughter's missing. Oh no, Faith, that can't be. Oh, I'll get over there right away. No, it's too late. No, you can't give up. If you can, fine, you do what you want. I'm going to go look for her. And that's all. That's literally, just repeat that. Just nonsense indefinitely. But then, like, background characters, like supporting cast, walk up on camera, almost like product placement. Like, people walk in and it's like, okay, like at first you're like, what the fuck is this Barry Jams guy? And then it's like, oh, it's like someone is playing the role of this character, I guess, or something. But it's like, are you advertising like Jif peanut butter? Or like, I feel as if they're here to show a product off and then walk away, because they enter the story, they say something to the character, and then we'll have a moment of like, oh yeah, you're looking for your daughter? I'm looking for my dog. You know, ever since my ex-wife broke up with me, it's been awful, but I learned how to pick myself up and get through it. And you're just going into some random person's thing, and, you know, they're just having this moment, and you're like, is this supposed to mean something? Because it fucking doesn't. And then they walk into a hallway, and then a monster kills them, and you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
and we're just banned.
That's a really good description. Yep.
It just, and it keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
It fucking is just, yeah, it's just escalations to nothing. Characters that mean nothing showing up to console characters that are nothing. And I kind of am just like, like it's kind of incredible that the things that are built up are these rituals that these sacrifices, because bad things are happening. The withering is happening in Quiet Mountain, and there was a sacrifice that was made, and now there's a being that, you know, needs to be appeased, and okay, it requires someone to go get killed, and so part of this character, Toby, being the drunk asshole everyone hates or whatever. It's like, I guess it was voted in or such, but okay. So he goes and he kills himself, and the cult stands around and they're like, good job, dude. Awesome. You saved everybody. And then it doesn't, because we're still halfway through a series that can't be done by episode 6. So yeah, I guess that guy's gone. There goes that main character. And now, nothing happened. The monsters are still around, and we don't know why. They're still upset. Like one of the cult members, Barbara, literally leaves the story and walks back in for next episode and goes like, I solved it. I have a book from somewhere else. The real way to fix this problem is you got to cut your eye out. And you're like, okay.
They come to some pretty wild solutions about how to fix the problems, don't they?
And it's just like, you're like, okay, and that's going to bring your kid back? And it's like, well, the last time she disappeared, she just showed up again on her own. And then later on, she was in the basement. And then this kid was in the forest, and then he came back. But no, this time it's different, I guess. Disappearance 4 is the one that needs your eyeball, not 3 or 5.
So little was happening in the story that when a relationship started to be suggested between Krista and what's
Pete Davidson.
Krista and Pete Davidson, it was all me and my chat had to like grasp onto while streaming those games. Yeah. And we were rooting for them so fucking hard. Yeah. We're like, please, Rachel sucks so much. She's so shitty. Please do this. And they fucking don't. But then, Woolie, the merging ritual.
They hold hands, and then the world, like, goes into the fucking whatever for a second, and then back out, and it's there's that whole will they, won't they? I don't know.
Woolie, you look so sad.
I just don't understand. Wait, there was no. There was also the bits where, like, did Ingrid kill her son or not? They don't know. Nobody remembers. Did the husband kill his wife? Nobody knows. I don't remember. Did anyone do anything? Nobody knows. We can't remember. They can't remember.
It's foggy. Like, it's difficult to tell.
And I don't have much patience these days for the amnesiac main character. It's not that it's not that like you can't have a good reason for that, but I'm just kind of tired of it from the outset. It just
I just don't think it's that interesting.
And like I remember having an argument with like somebody about like who was it? I think it was like Hiro Yui in Gundam Wing, where they were like, no, the reason why he is this way is because I'm like, yeah, I guess, but it doesn't mean that it was done in a way that it was done well. Like I'm just, there's things where I'm just like, a lot of the time the main character needs to be amnesiac because they need to be also fresh-faced to the world so that they can experience it at the same time as the viewer/player. And that's a convenient excuse that like needs them to kind of come in, that naive. But like when it turns out that there's a plot reason for it, but it's just the most contrived nonsense ever, well, then it's like, who cares anyway, right? Like it doesn't matter that you chose to do that. So like all these moments happening where these characters are doing these bad things, or they're not doing these bad things, but basically they like disappear into the hell realm and come back out and then are not sure what happened, and then bad things are happening around them, and then nobody knows what's going on, and then their phone's ringing, and it's like, yes, Silent Hill is doing what Silent Hill does, but you're misusing all of these devices, you're misusing all of these tension points and everything that would like actually mean something, because it's based around like, again, one person's single point of trauma that creates all of the other things. Like you're abusing that so that every time one of those devices gets used, no one cares anymore. No one gives a fuck. It doesn't mean anything.
So like, say like the happy birthday phone call in Silent Hill 3. It's like a big part of Silent Hill 3 is like there's all these camera shots and stuff where it's like, it's Heather being like stalked and harassed and her body isn't hers. It's all this kind of stuff about, like it's a very like feminine horror game. It's got a lot of shit to say about that kind of stuff. But then you cut to this and someone gets a spooky, and so like, when she gets that happy birthday phone call, it's like just some fucking weird person menacing her, and it just feels so horrible and strange. But like in this, if someone gets a weird phone call, it doesn't mean anything. It's just, wouldn't this be spooky?
like there's a moment where Xavier, the leader of the Foundation, is like he goes catatonic because he's fighting spiritual demon battles, and then he loses his mind, and then they find him, and he's just like he's not doing anything, and then Eric, has a big moment with him and convinces and wakes him up out of it, and he comes back, and they go to it, and they're like, oh, these two have a relationship now, and Eric was an initiate, he was untrusted in the Foundation, but now he can be trusted because we've built up this thing, and you saved me, you did it, and you had the faith, and you're a healer. But like, you hate both people, they both suck, it doesn't matter whether one was catatonic or not. This moment that's meant to have some kind of impact or importance or whatever, just it means absolutely nothing, because all it really does is it creates an episode for the leader to not be there, so that Rach can be shitty, and then the players can, I'm guessing, choose to reveal who the new leader should or shouldn't be. Yep. Like all these little moments are just like, oh, and then the player does this, but now you're gonna get fucked over right after that. It's almost like in like conversations in Until Dawn, where like there's like I really like Until Dawn, but there are things where it's like, oh, do you do this quick thing in this scene, which is immediately gonna like expose you and have someone get mad at you because you did some stupid shit right away. It's like just a whole story written around these little dumb gotchas,
Anyway, so the reason I wanted Woolie to get to the merging ritual is because at some point, Pete Davidson and Rachel's kid goes missing again, and it is decided the only way to find them is for the cult to hold a big orgy. And
you're not talking about the eyeball?
No. Woolie?
Because that was the ritual. Okay.
Wait a minute. Woolie, what did you watch this on?
The fucking app?
I think I heard about this. I think they removed the orgy.
What?
There is an orgy in Silent Hill Ascension. Oh my god! They took it out!
What happened? Oh my god. What?
So,
wait.
Krista and Pete Davidson don't get together, and I was pissed about that. But then Xavier, the leader of the cult, is like, listen, not only are you going to have to fuck Krista, you're going to have to fuck all of us if you want your kid back.
Oh my god!
Yep.
What the fuck? Wow.
Yep. This is what I wanted you to see, but honestly, the fact that you didn't is kind of even funnier.
Oh my god.
Yep.
And I guess people voted, right? I imagine that has to be.
It was. Oh, the orgy happened. The orgy fucking happened. It wasn't a good orgy, but god darn it, it was an orgy.
Not quite Fear and Hunger level, I suppose. Then.
No, I think out of all the games we've reviewed, Fear and Hunger still has the best orgy scene. I look forward to it being dethroned one day, but that's kind of how we're going here.
Oh my god.
So then the orgy happens. The orgy happens, and they like put their clothes back on, I guess, and they all walk outside. Then his son just walks, or his daughter just walks out of the mist, and she's like, "Daddy."
You did it! You all did it!
Why does it smell warm in here?
Oh, we boned her back to safety. That's great.
And it's funny because
damn,
the implication is nearly like maybe it didn't matter at all. Maybe Xavier was just.
I forgot the demon's name, but whatever the purger or the whatever, just the fucking demon is just like, oh wow, they're actually doing that shit. That's fucking crazy. I didn't think they'd really do it.
I'm actually a little uncomfortable, so I'm just gonna.
All right, kid, get out of here. You're free to go. Just like.
Well, I may be a demon, but I believe in the practice of abstinence. Like,
oh my God, they're actually doing it. What the fuck, guys? Holy shit. Spitting the fire out and fuck it. Yeah, anyway.
So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted you to see, but I mean, who cares?
God.
It's a garbage game. Okay, Woolie, look, I'm gonna drop the bit. No one ever says the word Silent Hill in this fucking game. No one ever says the words Silent Hill. And
okay, now this is where I need some
I'm ready to start dropping spoilers, by the way, if you're cool.
I need this is where I need some external insight because like I've played now 1, 2, 3 Shattered Memories. Mm-hmm. And I tested
Homecoming,
and I tested Downpour,
which we have all decided does not count as actually playing it.
So, AKA Downcoming, when those are both being developed. But I didn't like. I was like, I didn't test them in a way where I'm like, oh, I've played through the whole thing and I have the story and I know all that. Like I was playing very early builds without even a lot of cutscenes and weird shit, and then I was doing some early compliance and eval on it. So all this to say that like I don't really have the stories in those games. I don't know that there are other games that also don't mention Silent Hill. But
no, I believe I can't believe I have to say this fucking sentence. This is the first Silent Hill game in where Silent Hill does not feature. And like I had someone in my chat when I was streaming this game. Someone was like, "Well, actually, the reason for that is they actually wanted to move the franchise of the focus of the franchise away from Silent Hill." And I was just like, "Oh, why don't we make a Super Mario game not featuring Mario? Like, what are we doing? Like, what's the point?"
Because when they announced, what the fuck was it? So they announced this to Transmission, the little mini thing, and then the other one, right? That was like in Japan, I think.
F looked interesting, but and that writer is interesting.
But I think the point was, they're like, oh, the fog has spread, and it's not just this town anymore; it's everywhere, right? So that allows them to not have to be tied to any writing decisions that are going to conflict with shit that came in the past.
And like people disagree with this a lot, and people get really passionate about this. But like, I think it's real hard to view Silent Hill 2 in the same canon as Silent Hill 1 and 3. I think if you want to, go for it. If not, fine. But like, I think Silent Hill is at its most interesting when it's just focusing on stories about people. I think there's like, to me, the core of what Silent Hill is Silent Hill is it's a thing you cannot go back to. Every element of Silent Hill, or every game of Silent Hill has this kind of really interesting idea of you cannot go back to this thing. In Silent Hill 1, it's like, you know, this daughter returning to her previous identity and her memories become bosses. And it's like, no, you can't go back to those memories. You can't go back to childhood. There's all this kind of messaging around like fucked up childhood and all this kind of stuff. Silent Hill 2 is this man trying to come to terms with the loss of his wife, but he can't go back. He can't go back to their special place, because if you dwell too long in a memory, it gets fucked up. And that's what happens in real life. You know, you have to move past shit. You have to accept that certain phases of your life are over. You have to do this. Silent Hill 3, same fucking thing. This girl is trying to move on with her life. She is trying to just embrace her identity, and this town, this cult won't let her. That is what Silent Hill is to me.
Yeah, no, I think like whether or not Harry, James, and Heather are physically occupying the same space or not, it's much less relevant, because the point is that once you enter this area, you're going into the mind, right? And like there's enough overlap between like when someone's nightmares are haunting them and to the maximum effect versus when something is like literally existing in the world. There's enough doubt the entire time that if you wanted to say that, yeah, those stories took place in 1 and 3 are connected, obviously, and 2 is not, or whatever, that's fine, because it doesn't weaken or strengthen them you know. For
yeah,
any
like
particular
I
reason.
just don't need a definitive answer about that. But like, if you're asking or suggesting, will extended knowledge of the Silent Hill universe make this anything? No. This is like, there's just nothing there.
But the very clear decision to be like, we're going to go elsewhere and keep up the idea of evil fog and trauma monsters. It's like, right, so that you can have an IP that doesn't have to be, you know, handcuffed to this location, even though the location was like, it meant something and you see the sign and all that shit. And yeah, anyway. So yeah, they rebooting this franchise or such, bring it all back. And with that, you have these locations. And I'm like, again, it's not really even like the location is cool because now we know and care, but even then it's like it's not that, it's the things that the people have went through and the journey you go on with them that matter. And it also is kind of like the moments of weirdness and like high tension that build in 1, 2, and 3. 3, you're kind of like introduced already, so it happens a little faster. But with 1 and 2, like, it takes a bit to start cooking and get to those strange places and weird moments. But like here, you just start with people just yelling at each other immediately, and then they just never stop.
And dude, like,
know?
I think of that first cutscene in one of the first cutscenes in Silent Hill 2, where you meet
Mary?
not Mary, the other woman, the woman in the kind of sweater.
Oh, yes, the staircase fire. Yeah.
But yeah. Fuck, what's her name? I'm blanking on it. Anyway, but the first time you meet her and she's at the gravesite and lost, and it just feels so weird and off-putting, and nothing fucked up happens. It's just a weird interaction between two people, and
Angela.
like Angela, and like she gets scared when Harry kind of reaches for her, and there's so much in it. And there's more like personality and energy in that one cutscene than the entirety of this game, and it sucks. Woolie, can I tell you what happens at the end of this game?
Sure, because I mean, I was gonna say, like, with Angela, even all that weirdness, all you need is like a boss fight that is a fucking giant evil bed, and then a burning staircase that she walks up, and you're like, oh, fuck.
And, oh my god, you know that line she has where she's like, "Do you want to save me?" And it's like she's nearly like, "I am so fucked up that the idea that you could ever save me is just like, it's laughable. It's like disgusting. It's pathetic on your part." And
Man.
fuck, dude, that is
And just
that's heavy.
And what's the exact line? It's like, for me, it's always like this.
Yeah, no, that's what she
Right?
says. Yep.
Yeah.
For me, it's always like this. That's right up there with Silent Hill. That's right up there with Silent Hill 3's They Look Like Monsters to You.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck,
exactly.
dudes, these games. Me and Sudden Mango are playing through Silent Hill 3 at the moment, and fuck, dude, like, that game is just so excellent. I love it. Oh, okay, Woolie, I'm going to drop some revelation bombs on you here, okay?
By all means.
Number ones, do you know why the town hates Ingrid and her family so much?
No, I mean, I don't.
Because her little sister was a mass shooter.
The drunken one that was going through AA and like.
No. The other one you haven't heard about yet.
Okay, because you meet Ingrid, and then you meet the second sister who's like.
No, there's another sister
addict.
that they just don't start that don't talk about
Gotcha.
for like. Yep.
Gotcha,
She did it because she was evil.
Okay, and not because the aunt is euthanizing everyone at the hospital.
No, but boy, does that come out of nowhere. At one point, basically, so their mom dies, her sister shows up and starts dating the dad. She doesn't do anything for about 9 episodes, and then she turns around and is basically like, "Oh, by the way, I've been like murdering everyone down at the is that cool?
We should get out. We should leave. We should get out of here. This is awesome.
Yeah.
But just so you know, I've been just on a rampage. I mean, some days I can't even get I can't even get the tags out to the car by the time. Yeah.
Was there any mention of the final empath or the great empath?
No, I think Pete Davidson gets called like a special chosen
So
healer.
no, in the last couple of episodes, they start talking about the big bad, the great empath.
Not the purifier. Purifier.
I
Okay.
think they're different things.
Okay.
They might be the same thing. I don't know. And so, I'm streaming these games. I am just looking for any fucking thing to grasp onto. And so we're going into the last couple episodes, and there's 3 things I want, Woolie. I want someone to say Silent Hill. I just want someone to say Silent Hill. I want Krista to tell Rachel that her husband fucked everyone in the cult. And I want to know what the great empath is. Woolie, how many of those answers do you think I got? Because it can't be 0, so how many?
Let's see. In water. What? Oh boy. Please. What?
0. 0. It was 0. I lied. It was 0. It was fucking 0. At the very final scene is this dude with glasses, and he has little straw figures all over
Not
his
the bald
room.
guy.
I don't. Woolie, I'm going to be real with you. My brain has deleted large portions of this game.
That's acceptable.
Yep. And I think it's implied he is the great empath, and that he's controlling everyone on a chessboard. I don't know. And if someone wants to correct me, I don't care. I don't know.
Because there is a side character who's in a mysterious room doing mysterious things, who then shows up and starts getting upset, and then that's that. And then there's another dude who knew about Toby and Joy, but it doesn't matter. Also, the dead speaking to you, accusing you of shit stuff, yes, no, we know that's all a thing, but
the sister has an alcoholic goblin version of herself that follows her around, being like, drink.
Yeah, it's
about as well handled as you would expect.
I really can't emphasize enough how much it's okay, the things that James is haunted by are the things from his wife, and those things have very good reason to haunt him, and the guilt is there because it's real, and everything associated is very narrow, razor focused to what he did and how he thinks he should be treated as opposed to how he actually was, right? How she actually felt. And here it's the dead mom, right now she wants to be mean and remind the daughter of how much she hates her. But then...
the dead mom made the normal daughter set the mass shooter daughter's dead body on fire.
Yeah, okay, right.
That's why the monster, the big scary monster is on fire.
But then also we're going to just walk with me into the woods. I'm going to hide your son, but now I'm going to help you find your son. And there's okay, so the consistency is just that she's evil, but what?
Anyway, yeah,
trusting or not trusting? What is your relationship? It's is it just that it's complex because it's not because you hate her, or is it just that the audience voted and it was inconsistent because that was the result of the fucking vote? I don't know. It doesn't make it better that it's it would have if there's a version of events where it would be coherent if the audience voted the right way every time. But you know what I mean?
Well, then that's a really exceptional reason not to do it like this. Did you see Hideo Kojima?
What?
There's a couple of episodes. So a bunch of these characters are character creator characters.
Sure, yeah.
Basically, there's a couple of episodes where people just kept making Hideo Kojima. So it's
that's what that is. That's why some people have weird hair.
They're in a doctor's office, And
Okay.
the doctor turns around and it's Hideo Kojima, and they walk outside and get in a taxi, and the taxi driver is also Hideo Kojima.
Okay. There was, you know what that makes, I'm like, some people have strange kind of like looks and faces to them, and yeah, they're created looks. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Woolie.
Oh my God.
Listen.
Just.
I think we now, buddy, must rank Silent Hill Ascension. Okay. Is Silent Hill Ascension better than Earthbound? What do you think, buddy? We can feeling good.
Oh my God. Dude.
Okay, look, I feel like there's only really one question here.
Yeah, and
Silent Hill Ascension versus Omicron. What? Okay, this needs a name. This needs like the battle of the bottom. The slop masters collide.
Drag you to the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, just from the depths. It can't get any lower.
Okay, can I make an argument here? Not an argument. Can I just propose a dynamic? I will say Silent Hill Ascension is baffling and badly told, and it has weak writing, and it's just not good. But most of all, it's kind of fucking boring. Like, I saw some people say, like, John shouldn't have recommended this because it's boring. I kind of agree now. It's like, yeah, this is just not interesting. There's no... Unless I make a video about it, there's no way I'm ever going back to Silent Hill Ascension. Omicron is a worse video game. Omicron is a jagged, painful, broken experience. But I did feel things during my playthrough of it.
Okay, that's a metric. You know, okay, so we're at what are we calling it? The battle for the bottom, the sewer of suffering.
Battle,
whatever it is. It's just it's.
I think it's battle for the bottom.
Yeah. This is a extremely boring, frustrating, annoying journey into Nas. However, there's the thing where you are like, I'm waiting for them to say the word Silent Hill, right? You're connected to the name Silent Hill, so your expectations are, well, no, your expectations are not that you're going to get anything close to that. But, you know, but it's within the context of like Silent Hill 2 and its contemporaries. Omicron is like, oh dear God, I didn't think David Cage could get worse, but here we are at the start of his career. But like, while that's how you are like coming at that, for me, Omicron was way before even YouTube shit. Years ago, I was like, whoa, there's an RPG where the fights are in fighting game camera? That's cool.
Okay. That's pretty good. Yep.
So yeah, it really is kind of this, and you know what? I will say this: it's like, for all the suffering I felt like with Omicron, you know, at least it was on camera and it led to some people experiencing some joy. It wasn't me, but some people did experience something. You know, is the 5 or 4 or 3 worse than the 0 or the -1, you know, is the thing that, and it's not even like it's less than mid. It's absolutely less than mid. It's awful, but it's not like it's one of the worst functioning video games ever made, because it's not even a video game.
There's competent.
You don't play it.
There's competent parts to its visuals, and there's the odd nice piece of ambient music. So, like, it's not entirely without merit. It is entirely without soul.
I mean, you can grab assets for your trees and make a forest. You can grab characters and make them wear things, and like we can do that now. Yeah, Omicron tried a lot, did it all poorly, was a product of its time, and somehow convinced David Bowie to get on board. So, you know what? Fuck it. Silent Hill Ascension is absolutely worse than Omicron the Nomad.
Oh! I don't think I disagree. Wow.
Like, in terms of what Omicron stirs inside, this can't even muster that up. Like I'm fascinated to know, like, almost like
I agree. There is something fascinating about Omicron in all its terribleness.
You've got that fucking you got Koopy sandwiches. You got cucking.
You fuck that dead guy's wife, yeah.
You got the cop cuck. The fucking, you got these weird, again, and just like loose, awful morality and first person shooting that's terrible, and driving that's terrible, and fighting games that's terrible, and just all these and saves that also cost hints. And you know what I mean? Like, all these objectively terrible game decisions that are bafflingly fascinating and terrible. But here, there's nothing that baffles
what I am hearing
poor.
Is that Versus Wolves is more tolerant of atrocities than it is mediocrity.
We can have a beer and talk about Omicron.
And we will. Like, at some point we're going to talk about Omicron again. I never want to talk about Silent Hill Ascension.
I struggle to get to the end of this segment.
Yep.
Like, I'm thinking about how you started describing, like, you spent a good, like, I feel like almost like 20 minutes describing Reinhardt and, like, the type of character and the things about him. And I was like, wow, he's going hard on this. It's like, he didn't even start on Yang yet,
Yep.
You spent so long just going on about all the things about this one dude and then his buddy, and I'm like, yeah, and then there's the other half right over there, and it's like, I can't list these names off fast enough, because what is there to say?
What a fascinating juxtaposition. Woolie, Silent Hill Ascension is our new bottom of the list.
That's
king.
crazy. That's crazy.
But I think when we really look into our souls, this is what it is. I agree.
I didn't think we were coming in to upset the balance today, but the truth of the matter is that it really does upset me more.
Yeah. And Woolie, I did not ever want to experience misery, but I think we can both agree now that we are truly, finally even, we can just relax and enjoy the rest of the podcast.
We can just chill. Yeah. I mean, look, we can look. Hey, as a final sign of, like, proof here, just to confirm our choices, would you ever even recommend or consider, like, playing through Silent Hill Ascension's bonus episodes or some shit on the list for Dokapon's, like, loss against Kathy? You're like, I'll play through Omicron again and fucking it'll be it'll be dumb. Would you know what I mean? But to go back to Silent Hill Ascension, like, for what?
There's nothing. You can't go back to Silent Hill. That's the theme.
For who? Whomst of. Yeah, all right. So
okay.
Clean slate. Recommend
or die. Okay, Woolie. I'm gonna go first here.
Okay, like the recommend or die banners, like, slip away, and I'm just inside of a tank pointed at the camera, putting on the hard hat.
Oh, it's fucking crazy! Like, I swear to God, my blood pressure starts climbing whenever we get hit this segment.
Mm-hmm.
So, Woolie, I did have a recommendation for you that was pretty set in stone. And that was up to about 3 hours ago.
See, I thought I was going to get what you were originally going to give before we swerved last time.
No.
Okay,
No.
all right. We're on a completely different trajectory now. All right.
Could you say that line again, Woolie? The do? Or at least your best approximation of it?
Fine. That too disappears like a single tear of morning dew.
So that is the last line that Kentaro Miura ever wrote. It is also the last line of Berserk I have ever read. Berserk is my favorite piece of media. And for the longest time, I said, this is where Berserk ends for me. Berserk is Kentaro Miura to me. And if he's not a part of it, I don't know that I wanted to continue.
Oh, wow.
So, I thought if I was ever going to venture into the new chapters, it would need to be under very special circumstances. What I'm saying, Woolie, is I need a bro.
Oh my god.
I need someone to hold my hands.
Oh shit.
And I need us to step forward into this new world together, Woolie.
Wow.
I am terrified. For the first time ever on Versus Wolves, I have a dual recommendation for the both of us. We are both going to read the new Berserk.
Oh my god. You never went past it.
I never went past it. I have not seen a single panel of new Berserk.
Damn.
Woolie,
That is a tall order.
this was the plan.
Okay.
I know sometimes I say I have plans, and you're like, oh, you always have plans. When I got plans, Woolie, I got plans. This ain't the only one, but that's a story for another day.
You just needed someone to hold your hand.
I just needed... I'm scared. I'm scared, Woolie.
I got you, buddy. I got you.
Oh, fuck.
Let's do it. Yeah. I know. Okay, one, obviously, thank you. I'm honored. I'm touched. That is a very meaningful thing that you would like to share, like the media, the one, in this way. And I that's not lost on me. I do appreciate that. I accept wholeheartedly. I know that we are looking at a difficult situation because at best it's okay. They did what they could and they're honoring the legacy, and there's still a giant end bracket and another one afterwards.
Yep.
And we still are going to be looking at it as the other,
So, like, look, I've thought
it will
about this a
never
lot.
feel.
And where I'm landing on this is, like, I genuinely think what the new writer of Berserk is doing and the former team of Kentaro Miura, what they are doing for him is a genuinely profoundly beautiful thing. And I don't see it as anything negative or like a cash in or like anything like that. I think it is genuinely really amazing thing to do for their friends. But at the end of the day, there's no point people listening to this podcast if we're going to ever like sugarcoat an opinion or not be honest about it. You know, like I think, you know, for all like the fucking goofy shit we pull on this podcast, when you're hearing our takes on media, that is fucking real. And like, we're going to be as honest as we can about it. And there's no point doing this if we're not. And so I'm going to be 100% honest. And I know you're going to be as well, Woolie, about how we feel about the new Berserk. And a part of that is like, well, how does it compare to the legacy of Berserk? Like, is there something here? Or do we feel like there isn't? And if there isn't, I'm going to be completely honest with it.
I think that in like 10 out of 10 circumstances where something like this were to happen and someone else were to pick it up and continue, I would feel immediately weird about it and yeah, probably dislike that. I know some series have had similar things. I haven't read it, but didn't The Wheel of Time with Robert Jordan experience something similar, right?
Yeah, I think someone else, I think that
his
the
son?
author, I think it was his son. I think maybe there was someone else who picked up as well, a really famous author who, I read his book last year. It was
there's something to that where they went through a change, right, based on the loss of the creator. And, you know, I mean, some people are saying like, yeah, Winds of Winter is next, right? If George R. Martin doesn't fucking, yeah, I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. But in this particular case, which is also not great, admittedly, when I read that letter that was penned by the new author that was his friend, and basically it described that they had talked about the story enough, and it had been clear from Miura's notes and from the discussions they had from going 10 years back about where this was going to go and where he wanted to go. That's way better of a circumstance to continue someone else's legacy from than just someone else kind of going like, here's what I think it should be, you know? Or worse, like the editors and everyone else involved kind of being like, we're just going to steer the ship as a committee, you know?
I have some thoughts on that, but I think it should wait till the next episode.
Yeah, that's it. No. But I just as far as where I'm at, right?
Yeah,
and I didn't hit the point that you were at when this happened, obviously. I'm catching up here late, but it was a little bit like, okay, you are starting from a way better place than I thought, considering this could have just been the worst possible cash-in, you know, awful things. So we'll see. And I don't know what that means for the quality. And certainly everyone else out there now is ahead of us. You know what I mean? When it comes to this. So yeah, let's do it. Let's find out.
Oh, this is the most emotional recommend or die. Like...
Okay. Yeah. So what we're going to have, so we had my catch up as of this week. We're going to have to talk about everything from Lost Children up to Fantasia in our next intermission lounge. And then we're going to come back in with the new Berserk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's a hell of a wait on one side of the next episode. So, yeah, you know, as I'll take over here. We were talking a bit about the flagellation and the continued experience of going into Dokapon, and you know, my fear and hunger experience aside, there's your like legitimate enjoyment of these types of things.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
Okay, well, that's fine. We don't need to get into any of that. I do, however, have something that is pretty challenging in a way I think you could enjoy. I don't know if you've gone particularly far into this or touched it, but one of my favorite things is Darkest Dungeon 2.
Oh, 2.
2.
Huh.
And Darkest Dungeon 1, I spent a lot of time with, and I think you tried it.
I would say I never gave it like a proper shot.
Yeah. And realizing that, I'm going to still say 2. Because 2 changes some things and does some things and creates a different speed. And ultimately, it's not like a massive thing where the narrative is going to come back and haunt you here anyway. It's going to be an adventure with your
Interesting.
characters and your party. Right?
Okay.
I want you to experience this game. And it streamlines and makes a lot of things better from the first time. There's some things that are different and changed, but ultimately, I suspect that you would like this version of the game more. And it can be crushingly difficult, but it can also be glorious, you know?
Okay. Interesting. I've wanted to deep dive on Darkest Dungeon for a while.
What's your experience with the series?
So nothing really. I played a couple of hours of Darkest Dungeon 1 many years ago. I've heard a lot of people say they're not that happy with Darkest Dungeon 2, but I wonder sometimes, is that a lot of people who kind of just want the first game again? But yeah. I don't know.
So there's aspects to it that, you know, again, some say are better, some say are worse. I have my feelings on those two as well. But overall, there's some shit in here that I think is interesting. And I played a fuck ton of it because I just, the setting, the world, the gameplay, the narration, the builds and the characters and everything. There's a lot there that I really love.
Is there a recommended platform you would have?
I play it on Steam, and I think that would be best because you can play this with just a mouse, or you can just grab a controller if you want. But I think just playing with a mouse and a couple extra buttons would simplify it, because really you just need essentially the cursor plus like one thumb button to do everything in that game. So that'd probably be the most relaxed way to experience it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I would like, you might basically like, there's a cart that you have to control and like using the mouse to steer left and right. I think would be just a nice relaxing way to play this game without having to worry about using your other hand even. Mm-hmm. What I would say is I would like you to complete at least 2 character class stories.
Okay.
So to complete 2 character class stories and complete chapter 2.
Okay, gotcha.
So every character class you can pick from, and there's more that you get by playing and unlocking. They all have these little places you can go to reveal their backstory a little bit more, and that's how you also get stronger. So do pick whoever you think is cool or interesting, and get their full story. Get at least 2 characters, and then 2 chapters or 2 acts of the game. See what you can do. If you can't beat the second act, if you can get to the boss of it at the very least, you know, I'd say that.
Oh, I'll beat the second act.
Okay. And with that being said, again, you may stop there or wherever.
Okay. Gotcha.
Some of the coolest shit I've ever seen is the last boss of this game. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, interesting. Wow.
How's that sound?
That sounds great, Woolie. What a pleasant recommender die. God, man, when we get properly even, it can be like this all the time.
It really can. It can.
All we have to do is eliminate 1 or 2 little outstanding deaths. But hey, that's a story for another. We don't got to worry about that.
Okay. I think we're pretty clear. I think things are nice right now.
I think
like this
one
feeling.
Tiny thing that needs to happen.
I like this feeling, and I think we're on a roll and we're having a good time.
Yeah, no, we are. It's just at one point at one point, one of us did show up in a suit. And at some point, one of us is going to have to return that favor and everything that the suit implies.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I love you, Woolie.
I don't.
Thank you, everyone. Real quick. A, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Versus Wolves podcast. And B, by the time this comes out, my new merch collection might be out, I think. Oh. Maybe? I don't know.
Okay.
You can get one of these bad boys. Look, it's Damage, a fake boss from a video game that isn't real. Check it out, eyepatchwolves.com. Thank you, everyone. And
You're
Woolie, thank you so much.
But your shirts are not.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Guys, that's a podcast. Thank you so much. Feeling all right, Woolie?